Jeff, can we please keep talking about people who have sex with cars?
Wait, are we recording off of that?
Loud.
Yes, but if that fucks up, then
I'm a
that's pretty
dumbass.
good.
I was like, why are we using the laptop for audio? I didn't see a big honking microphone.
So what we were just talking about was sexual relations with automobiles.
It's true.
Ladies
Evan
and gentlemen,
has a bumblebee
Tuna.
punch buddy.
can you please hand that to your brother?
Oh, Booth,
Is he ready?
He's ready. I did not spray him down with the sealer yet, so parts of it might come off. Just don't knock him around.
Why did you spray him with the
I
sealer?
can
It
touch
takes
him
2
up after
seconds.
Thank you.
Because I just forgot.
No, I
Gosh.
And
Very nice.
I can touch him up after if you fuck him up at all.
I really like the flames in this hand.
I dry brushed the yellow.
But the
one.
best is the buckle. Because it stands out the most.
buckle.
I'm never
Check
gonna
out
see
the
my
scroll.
Esther mini.
Is this the wrong layer?
I didn't see the scroll though.
Yeah, like that. Okay.
But the raven, on the other hand, is really nice.
Are you drawing
Or is it a
Esther
crow?
right
What?
now? Are you drawing Esther right
I
now?
love how both of you have very different ideas of what Esther looks like. 'Cause I had a sketchbook open the other day, and he's like, "Is that Esther?" I'm like, "No." And you're like, "Is this Esther?" No, it's not Esther. It's
She can
commissioned.
draw a
black
guy
skin,
with white hair,
I'm
right?
sorry.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Drow.
When is that
You like it?
black?
I do.
How dare you
Oh, it
assume?
looked like it from there. Whoa!
Wow.
That totally changed how it
Yeah. Maybe we should start recording.
We are recording.
looked. What do you
We're
think?
in 4K now.
Do you think
I love it.
more or less kind of what you were thinking?
Oh yeah,
Wait, weren't we
Alright,
in
cool.
4K for the last few episodes?
we were, but not for the steampunk one.
I dry brushed him. You can take him out of the thing.
Oh.
Just, you know what I mean? Just don't manhandle him.
No, keep
Jeff-
him in there
that's how
forever.
Jeff does it.
Something just fell.
That was my ankle.
Oh, okay.
Why isn't your ankle connected to your body?
You know.
Like you do.
So, gang, last we
I'm
left
sure you
off
see.
in our game, you had all escaped. I don't know if escaped is the right word. You all just sort of left Holy Stone Mine because there wasn't really much to stop you. Oh, thank you. Could you pass those over to me? Thank you very much. Was the one thing I was missing. There was no one really to stop you from doing so. So you left, and you ventured straight to
hell.
straight to the vampire lands known as Vampiria. On the way, Esther had a very interesting talk with Corlox, I believe his name
The
is.
great believer.
The betrayer. And just had a strange sort of conversation with him.
Conversation.
As you guys approached the actual keep of the Duke, Joshua Garraway, the leader, Duke of the Vampires, somebody who controls a vast amount of land, but isn't as powerful as one of the king vampires, but still controls a good couple of, like a couple legions or so of armies, and is basically in charge of assaulting Marcellia. You decided to meet with him after meeting his emissary, Morgan. As you head down...
I remember Morgan
Morgan.
fondly.
Yes, fondly. As you went down into Duke Caraway's estate, for some reason, Headhunter shot someone for zero reason whatsoever. But they were vampires. Well, you shot a human, slave, essentially. But vampires were like, what are you doing? Alright, we're not worried about it. Who gives a fuck? And you kept going. You met with the Duke, and a somewhat brief meeting with the Duke as the conversation was going the way that I believe it would have gone, having this man who has no idea who you are, this man who has a lot of power and influence, and you guys simply coming to him saying, "Hey, you want to come and do the thing we're gonna do? You're welcome." And almost like you were doing him a favor.
We were.
We are.
That's
But
why
being-
we went there.
But being a
Artfully
vampire,
planned out
and
by me.
being that he has incredible pride and believes himself far above you, Astrid, I think, just simply got tired of his insults, and tried to take over his mind, but he successfully...
No, we didn't.
He successfully
First time he
deflected it and was able to overpower it. Confused and befuddled, you simply did it again, and at that point, dominating him utterly and completely, him and his
Lover.
closest advisor, Morgan.
Right in
yes,
front of us.
Yes, actually.
What?
Oh.
I didn't know
Do you
vampires
think you're
were like
exclusive with Morgan?
Morgan's a female.
Morgan the vampire?
Morgan's
He's
a female.
being so good I forgot. So something brushed against my leg.
How back it up?
Do you need room?
Give it to him.
Good boy. This
Oh,
dog
yeah.
is the
No, I
best.
want to hear.
No, please.
And I believe we left off there with Duke Canaway.
Every time you say the Duke of Wales pops
Yes.
in my head.
Sir
Because he was the best character
Oh,
there
I
ever
never
was.
gave you an opportunity to.
There's
You
one
never-
more
you
mission
never-
left in this campaign, right? And then we start the
No,
new
we're
one.
not doing that. I mean, I don't care.
Well, this
So-
episode, I might just shoot myself.
He might.
You
So,
might.
don't forget you have Indomitable and stuff like that.
Yeah, I
Don't
know.
worry about that.
You took away the curve ending.
What?
My secretness.
Excuse me? You want me to rephrase that?
The fact that you have done
Sorry,
it
I
and
forgot.
used it in
Forgot
game.
we're still hot.
So,
We'll talk about car
we
sex.
might have to restart the game again.
Fighting Transformers.
Gang.
so
So we're still in the
We-
throne room.
yes,
right?
you are. We come back to the throne room. You're all standing there. The snap as it echoed through the air, and the Duke simply calming down. And Astrid, I believe. What
I
you
forget
said-
what I said.
I
Dylan.
believe what
You said just
was,
that.
was
Bitte?
why don't you tell me what I am again? Because I think he was saying like you're useless and you're this and you're like, why don't you tell me how useless I am again? And you snapped your fingers and controlled his mind, and now he I don't believe you're useless at all, Miss Astrid.
So what was it that you wanted?
Believe, and he keeps looking to you for guidance of some sort. I believe we were discussing a way in which we can bring down Dawn's Hold. Yes, of course. And well, what is it that you may require from me? And he keeps looking at you and looking above you, seeing things that the other team cannot see, things that Headhunter, you know what he is seeing, and it is pure horror, an aura of, I would say hell, but it's different than that. It is this eldritch kind of horror that surrounds her now. These unspeakable things, these terrors that you
Infection
see
in the world.
swimming around her. Almost, it's almost like great terrible ghosts are forever sort of
We're not good
encompassing
people.
Astrid or around
Spooky
her
ghosts.
in some way. Spooky ghosts.
So, at a game, what is there a passing knowledge of what Dawn's Hold is like? Is it on a mountain? Is it like the same thing we just did?
Would you like to ask him? He's been fighting them for years.
I could tell you because he explained it all last time.
Yeah. I know with the cannon, I know that's a
It's
big...
a big cannon.
But if you want to know legitimate, would you like to ask him in game?
Oh, yeah, let's do it in the game then. Do you have anything though?
Because you guys know nothing. Out of game, you guys know, or in game, you guys know nothing
Oh, okay.
about it. So
I mean-
this is a good chance.
But didn't
He should be a lot more cooperative now. So
That's a way to put it.
Yes.
what's his best idea to get past the death beam?
The death beam. Oh, the sunlight cannon.
Yes. Or does it just not
Well-
affect us because we're not weak vampires?
No, it will fucking obliterate you with radiant energy. Super, super strong radiant energy. I will say, I have attempted to infiltrate Dawn's Hold and try to have it sabotaged with various different saboteurs. However, none of them. Did you like that? I tried it. He just didn't. His face did not change. I thought I would get something out of Jeff. He just serial killer stared at me.
It's my brand.
But we were unable to do so. They have many countermeasures to stop infiltrators and things of that sort, and they most definitely have ways of detecting vampires. So I have tried to send our humans. We have many humans in our employ. Our armies are mostly human. But to no avail, they always seem to root out our saboteurs.
Have you
Is it
tried?
magical or mechanical?
I believe it's a mix of both. It
Yeah.
has
Quite
most
20
definitely
questions.
some sort of magical core
Kind of can.
that powers the actual cannon itself, but I believe it takes much of its power from the sun. So for many of the days... What?
We gotta block out the sun.
Oh, I would
That's
love
doable.
that. It took...
well, does it work at night?
I believe it has enough power to work at
Like
night.
solar panels that stores it.
We have done night raids and trying to full-on assault them at night.
I would hope you did
and
night raids.
They were still able to. Well, like I
Our
said,
day raids just kept failing. We lost everyone.
the vampires are more like officers or commanders of the armies. They are less the foot soldiers. We do not fight. The only example was one of our soldiers who refused to be behind the front lines. So, I believe it gains its power
That's
from the
our
sun,
boy.
and it will hold the charge for quite some time. It does only fire once every couple of, I believe it is 10 to 20 minutes. It takes
Great
before it
illusion
can
and
recharge and
sneak in.
fire again.
So you were saying saboteurs were not working. It sounded like the way you referenced straight up attacks. It wasn't a success, but you held your own.
We were able to kill many of their people, but at much greater loss to our own numbers. Now, numbers mean nothing to us.
Yeah, I don't care
We
about
can
your
always
numbers.
find more pawns. Of course you don't, Miss Astrid. But we can always find more pawns. That's not difficult. We have countless bodies in Vampiria. The only problem is that it really wasn't very effective. We barely even reached the walls of Dawn's Hold.
Well,
Rarely have we been able to even clash a sword against the stone.
What kind of air support do they have? And
Not
why
much.
is that? Is it because their forces are repelling you?
Is it the
Yes.
cannon? Or is it the forces?
It is a mix of both. The cannon is extremely powerful, and it brings down some of our greatest foes. Every once in a while, the king is able to send me something great and terrible, an abomination of some kind, or some creation that he has made in his castle. But that is usually what the sunlight cannon brings down instantly. They go after either large enemies that we bring, siege engines that we bring, or a large group of soldiers. But after the sunlight cannon, each and every soldier in Dawn's Hold is incredibly well trained. The champion that lives there keeps them, on their toes, as it were. They are hard to catch by surprise, and they are hard to best in battle.
I mean, with the knowledge that it can only fire every 20 or 30 minutes? Is that what you said?
10 to 20 minutes.
10 to
it is.
20 minutes?
I
All
think
we need is
depending on...
time.
Yeah.
That's
If
fine.
it is high
Well-
noon, then it is a lot faster.
It's high noon.
God.
Oh, I forgot you're an Overwatch guy.
If we hit it from multiple different
Isn't that
angles,
Mercer?
though.
His
Yes.
voice.
Yes.
He is, actually.
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
Fun fact, he hates that.
Good.
Apparently people try to get him to say it all the time, and he goes, no, I'm not going to say it. He doesn't like saying it.
why?
funny.
I don't know.
It's the
It's
only
just,
line
every
I know.
time I watch the show, there's one of his... Because they're all friends, so one of them wants to be an asshole. They're like, it's high noon, and he's like, don't do that.
What if you just do a great illusion over it for them to shoot it down, and then we just charge in full? Like they can't shoot the laser downward
Well,
back at
they
us.
also can't hit us from every angle if we're going in multiple different ways.
Well, then that means one of us dies.
Well, no, not us.
Yeah.
We need.
You know what? I'll kill myself.
This is
for
it.
the
You've been
team.
suicidal for
What
at least
kind of-
4 episodes.
What kind of air support do you have?
Well, we have our main soldiers, and he points to the sort of winged bat creatures that kind of flew up to
Yeah, but
your...
what can you do?
Nothing. It's
No,
Well,
it's
I
He's a
am much
fop.
better served to the cause being here. If I were to die, well, our entire frontal assault would be for naught, and we would lose the
So are you saying the
Extremely.
humans are stronger than you?
stronger. Absolutely not. I could rip a human in half with my bare hands.
Then why do
and
you
Morgan looks
hide?
at you and shakes his head.
her head.
Why are you
Right.
hiding?
I'm not hiding.
Make
I'm
him the
simply
distraction so we could get rid of him.
leading
once
my
and for all.
army
Can.
from the rear in order to get better counsel.
But we
Some-
have like an wait. Wait.
I'm
our
sorry.
boy wants to kill him.
Do you call him down? He is in your comments.
No, I mean
Okay.
he can't
I
really
forgot
stop
about
him now, but his people might revolt against.
Just get him
See.
in an empty
What's his
field.
name? Eddie.
Yeah.
Eddie's
Yeah, Eddie can stay in the boat for now.
Okay.
'Cause we
All
have
we-
him.
I forgot about that.
We need 3 large things in the air, coming from separate directions. Doesn't matter what they are.
We
Something
have,
to absorb a blast.
We do have
So-
a few weapons that we could use. I was trying to hold them for the rainy day, but this may be the time to use it if Miss Astrid wishes.
Do we need to do this right now? Are we prepared enough to do this right now?
I think so. We have a bunch of ships of like almost our entire fleet.
And we do have like a porter army. at our back right now.
Oh, the soldiers
Porta Mini Army,
from Holy
granted.
Mind.
But I wasn't even thinking about that. I was thinking about our skeletons, Mr. Marbles, the Greystro, everything.
Yeah, I have 5 giant skeletons.
No, you don't. I believe you have 3 now.
You do.
I think you lost a
is
few during.
I have 3 giant skeletons.
The soldiers of Holy Stone.
And
did
Gore
fight
and all
back.
of them, right?
And
They went through the
the
portal.
Greystro.
So we could just flip this place upside down. We just gotta get past the lasers.
That's what I was saying.
There's
If
only
there's
one,
any
right?
way I could use
What?
his ring, get inside of the
Right.
city,
Only
and then
one.
pop open the thing.
Is it attuned to him? His
But
ring?
that's the thing, is it is attuned to him.
Cut off his
we
finger.
have
Yeah.
a
Cut off his
better.
finger.
I have a
You
better
still
plan.
have to attune to it.
We do have
You
means
can
by
come with
which
me.
to transport.
Do you have something that goes really fast?
Don't you have a cloak or something? Like an
yes.
invisibility cloak?
I believe
Displacement.
We can make something.
You two
faster.
should just sneak
smaller
in.
or larger. The larger it is, the slower it will
Smaller. All I
Yes,
need
yes,
is to get within a couple hundred yards of it.
Of the
One
cannon?
One quick flyby.
Yes, one of my soldiers could simply carry you. They are very fast and hard to detect.
So, a metagame
okay?
question.
Yeah.
Mav has a spell that a couple sessions ago we were talking about, like a booming voice through town.
Okay.
Is that what that spell does? What is it?
Prestidigitation?
Yes.
I can
'Cause-
double check it.
Prestidigitation can do a lot of stuff.
One more time.
If you want to amplify your voice, yes. If you want to make lights
say
flicker and like it's like minor illusion shit. It's like minor
No, that's
dumb
that's
magic
what
stuff.
I
very
got from
tiny.
it. I thought it was like little
How do I-
wizard tricks. Like,
Oh. I haven't played with this yet. I have thaumaturgy is what it is.
oh my god.
No, you
Your voice
didn't.
booms up to 3 times as loud for 1 minute. I cause flames to flicker, brighten, dim, or change color for a minute. I can cause harmless tremors in the ground for 1 minute. I can create an instantaneous sound that originates from the point of your choice within range, such as a rumble of thunder, the cry of a raven, or ominous whispers. You instantaneously cause an unlocked door or window to fly open,
Oh,
slam
that was
shut.
prestidigitation.
I know, I thought so too, but it's thaumaturgy.
Is that what you have?
They're like
Yes,
very
you alter
similar.
the appearance of your eyes for 1 minute. So it's all.
Make your
I
eyes
don't want to
pink.
say it's all relatively minor things because the voice thing, the rumbling, and the windows.
I just
is
need
pretty...
to deliver a message
Yeah,
to
like
the
it's a
entire
thing.
town.
But it isn't. It's not
think
harmful
I-
or anything.
Exactly.
You're not actually affecting anybody. But you could scare the fucking shit out of people,
Right.
or you can make somebody much more noticeable if you wish.
Right.
I have
And you can get
prestidigitation.
creative with that if you want to be like, I want to have like harmless sparks shooting from his body. You know what I mean? And like his eyes are on fire. You know, like like. Sure, as long as he's not like huge and gigantic, because that's like major illusion or something. But if you want it to
Yeah.
be like he doesn't look like that, I don't know. We can.
Don't
play
you
with
also
If
have
I
like an
cast
invisible
it-
cube
Multiple times, I
cast
can
over us?
have up to 3 of its 1 minute effects at a time. So I can do
That
3
we
different
used
things.
But it only
before
lasts for a
Carla's
minute.
ship.
Each one only lasts for a minute.
The invisible cube.
Or you can make one thing
She
last for
has-
3 minutes.
So I
It doesn't
have.
say that. It says
She
I can have
mastered
3
ship
things that last
before
a minute.
we
Yeah.
boarded
1 minute,
Carla.
though.
You have.
The ability. I can do major image, which is a big spell, and I can also do hallucinatory
hash
terrain, which is a big spell. I mean, I brought an illusion of Draxia before.
That's right. We're not going right now. We'll give it a day and a half.
You want to sleep here?
Yes.
We have accommodations.
Yeah, I don't trust you people.
Morgan puts her hand.
We have
on
our
the back of
ships
your neck.
too.
I only trust her.
You can stay in my room.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
I'm just having war
Dude.
flashbacks to like old D&Ds I've played. Just,
You know?
Hello. You're down here, huh? Biting my knee.
the amount of seduction rolls we made was ridiculous.
Ugh.
Could
Yeah.
have sworn.
Roll for butt circumference.
You
Oh,
wanted to,
God.
Pretty
why,
much.
Why did you want to
Pretty
send a
much.
message?
Critical fail, critical fail.
To
Do you know there's a whole system that has that included in
I'm
it?
sure there
Give
is.
Yes,
ranks
That's
actual
before we destroy
asshole
them.
Yeah.
diameter
Give
them a
has it
chance to
included.
join us.
Yes, I
It's-
cannot remember
And
what it's
then-
called.
Neither can I, and that's probably for the better.
Somebody was telling me about it.
It's
Jeff, were you
horrible.
I don't
What?
have a message.
Jeff
There's
is
like-
into that
There's an
stuff.
actual role-playing game that has so much detail in it. It has asshole circumference in it. As a
sounds like Dwarf Fortress.
It's not Dwarf Fortress. It's like a tabletop thing. There's no way asshole circumference is a
no.
thing in Dwarf Fortress.
There's
If I had a
physics.
nickel
I know
every
there
time I
are
heard that.
mods.
Jeff knows his asshole circumference game mods.
God.
Right? You should see
How
the
dare
things he
I doubt
downloaded
him.
for Skyrim.
He just sits in front of a mirror.
And I thought I was the game studies person.
Why is he vibrating?
Thanks, I hate it.
But yes, you are more than welcome to stay. We can make accommodations, we can have food prepared, we can have a fine feast.
Do you have a
feast
teleportation circle here?
We do.
May I study it?
Ooh.
And he looks, well, and he's looking to you when he says this. Well, I am not allowed, by order of my king, to allow anyone to take a look at it.
But for why?
Do you tell him to do it?
Yeah,
Turn
what are
down
you
for
doing?
what?
Well, I most definitely can allow, if it is alright with Miss Astrid, then I believe it will be fine, yes.
It's for the greater good.
The greater
Greater
good.
good, yes.
Greater good.
Of course.
What's for on the menu for the feast?
Well, and he smiles. Are you guys done talking to him at this time?
Yeah, I think
Do we
so.
want to cut to the feast?
Yeah. Can I study the...
Why?
We
Yes.
blink. Suddenly, there's a whole table.
So, like,
of
he
food.
smiles to you, and Headhunter, you're sitting at a very large, long, elaborate table.
No, it
None
cuts
of
and
the
Alex's head is down. He's pissed out drunk already.
There is wonderful foods of all kinds here in Vampiria. Now, the thing is, the humans are kind of lithe and thin, and the vampires, from what you heard of vampires, they don't eat. They're supposed to just drink blood. But the count, or the Duke sits down as well. He's not the count, but the Duke sits
The
down
count?
as well. He's not.
One war crime, two
So
war
He
crimes.
sits down, and he is also preparing to eat. So is Morgan, and they're eating. It looks like great chickens and steaks and fruits of all kinds, and all this elaborate, amazing food. You don't know what to dig into first. There's all kinds of shit. Like you're looking for meat, it's there. You're looking for fine fruit, it's there. You're looking for good wine,
Is it real?
It's there.
That's,
Do you dig in?
I want to dig into the meat.
Like a
You
leprechaun
grab
roll.
and rip what
Nice,
appears to be like a
like
chicken
full-
leg,
Okay.
and yeah, it's real. You smell it. It smells incredible. You bite into it, and it has a strange taste. It does not taste like chicken.
It's made out of people.
But as you kind of, there is a lot of blood in it that like pours from it. Though it looks perfectly cooked, when you rip into it, there's more blood in there than there should be. And they are eating it fine grapes.
Don't
that
you
sort
need
of,
this?
again, burst with this red.
I don't know.
Are you as
Yeah,
are you there as well?
Seeing that,
You there and you.
do I get any sustenance from it, or you know what I mean? I don't need to eat food, so like
What you are eating, well, you do because of your.
I don't need to eat food.
This,
what you are
this
eating,
is flesh, not food.
You are definitely eating intelligent creatures
Okay.
that are dead. However, the food, I say that they're dead,
Mhm.
but the food is like that blood was still pumping. Does that make sense? They have somehow made this food out of intelligent living creatures, being human, orc, whatever, but they craft living flesh into food, and that is what you are eating.
Now, do I?
And
It's
they are eating it fine,
sufficient.
like little slivers. Yes, you can see that the Duke is eating like small little slivers and mostly drinking the wine, which is definitely, super definitely blood, obviously, duh, but flavored
Talia.
with different alcohols and things of that nature. But it looks like they somehow made food so that they could eat actual food and live the way that they used to live
See,
and enjoy those the beauties of actual life they have now brought back to themselves, but through like living flesh. But it looks like a chicken. It looks
Does it
like a
taste
cooked-
good to?
Like I like medium rare.
It's good as
foods.
fuck. It's delicious. Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Then I-
It doesn't taste exactly like chicken, but it's close. You know, like vegetarian chicken, where it's like, you know, this is still pretty good.
I feel like this is the opposite.
It's
of
like
that.
a little. It's like got a little bit of
Literally the
tang
opposite.
to it.
Uh-huh.
It's good as hell, though. Yeah, it's very
Fuck it.
good. So you're digging the fucking
I've had human before, I think.
the fruits as well. As you grab the grapes, almost feel kind of warm, and as you pluck them from the thing, it looks like the end of the vine bleeds a little bit.
Yeah, I don't
And
know
you're
if I
like,
like that.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, you,
What are
don't
you
eat it?
eating?
As it looks like, as you look closer to the bright green vines, you can see like red coursing
Yikes.
through it. They have made people into food.
It's made out of people.
It is. Jeff was correct. It's made out of people.
I might have just lost my appetite.
That dog is just staring at you.
I'm gonna wash it down with some wine.
You drink the wine. It is
He loves
delicious.
Santa Amanda.
Fuck
Little irony, but delicious.
Isn't that ironic?
Hi, baby.
Iron.
Mav, do you sit down to eat this meal? Or are you like, vampires?
Why the fuck not?
They are under Astrid's control.
I feel like
Well, just two.
Mav would be interested because it's different cuisine from hell, but seems very hellish in its own way.
Yes.
So
It's much more...
he has no table manners.
It's much more...
He has no
eloquent.
lips, so it
Yes,
would be hard to
this
have
is
table
coming
manners.
straight out of his mouth.
The
Like
secret
a
of
gremlin.
hell...
Out of comp.
In hell, they mostly just eat things and people, like raw, or
Yeah.
like some of them will cook people. Your mother probably sometimes cooked people.
Your mother.
But this is elegant. You know, there's class to this.
I'm sorry, I'm
Like-
just imagining Mav like a napkin.
Yes.
and his
And just
little
everything.
like armor, and he's like trying to be posh and then just going fucking ham on the table.
Yeah,
Just like,
yeah, that's good.
Exactly. He's got no lips. None of it's staying in his mouth. It's just all over the place.
He has to like tilt his head back
It's
just
like
to get the
it's like the
food
Game Grumps eating with the that plastic
with the
That goes
game.
in your mouth.
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, that's it's like that, but so
That's
much
exactly
worse.
what that is.
The Duke is most definitely like horrified
You're just
By
like
this.
making eyebrows at
by
everyone.
Mav,
You're like,
not you.
I'm gonna try to snipe
He's so
What?
Oestre with a grape.
Okay.
we have
That's
played
just
this
nothing.
game for
Oestre.
2 years.
Oster.
Esther.
Oster.
Oestre. Craving some raisins.
Esther is not there. Esther is currently examining.
He
the
did say
teleportation
snipe.
circle.
Maybe he sees
Because
From
I wanted the
miles
bullet.
away.
Roll the hit with disadvantage.
Can I sit next to him?
next to Alex.
No, the two.
19. A 3 and a 19.
Like
Oh,
4
wait,
stories.
I have my
away.
new character up right now. I'm expecting to die.
I can't wait for
Is
the
that a
gun.
natural
It's a
19?
17, yeah.
Which is a crit for you.
Yeah.
Can't wait for it to
But it's a
backfire.
disadvantage.
And what is it total?
With 19?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Plus what?
29, 33.
33?
Yeah.
What's your armor class? Not 33.
It hits.
Well, at a challenge rating of 30. Seeing how you got a 33. 30 is nearly impossible. To roll
Yeah.
a 30 is almost impossible in D&D. So you, however, you get like a plus fucking 11 or something. 14. Plus 14 because you put literally all your
Everything
points
in
into it.
accuracy.
Oh my lord.
You feel the wind, and you and flick a grape as it
Wait,
bounces
no.
between.
Disadvantage.
He had disadvantage. I gave him disadvantage and a challenge rating of 30. I'm sorry.
No, I
What
got
did
a
that
3.
stack?
I got
I'm
a 3
sorry.
And a 19.
It's an item.
Oh, you got a 3 and a 19. So
Yeah.
your roll was actually 3.
I thought you just
Plus
gave it
14.
to me. Yeah, so it's 17.
It's a grape.
You weren't able to get.
I was wondering why you were
and
like,
it onto a wall. And you're like, damn.
I do it again.
Why?
And as we
I
look at
do it again.
we look at where it's splattered, and we go through the wall, and we see that's where Esther is. Like you knew where he was,
Why?
but you didn't hit him with it. And Esther, you were in your own room, looking upon the teleportation circle. It's a very large, round room.
Nice.
So you were
Probably don't
examining
like
the
that.
teleportation circle. Was there anything you're looking for in particular here?
I basically wanted to like checkpoint it.
Oh, you want to make it
Yeah.
like you learn the teleportation circle and learn how to connect to it with your own stuff. This is a very large room. It can fit lots of people. You could bring a large amount of people here. And he did say that he has transport. And you do
Yeah.
have, like,
I
a
don't
day or
even.
two if you
I
want.
don't even think I need that.
Yeah.
What I'm gonna do is I am going to.
It smells so much.
He's very sneaky, I'm sorry.
His toy smells.
Oh yeah, that's probably even worse.
Yeah, I'm going to plane shift to the astral plane.
Okay.
Just do a peaceful.
Do you stand there and just
Do you remember how
you're gone?
you never know what we're gonna do?
This is an example. Remember when we were all geared up to go do something and Esther decided to just go by himself?
Wait,
to
this
the
is not
astral
the
plane?
first time this has happened.
No?
It's
Remember
always
when-
before a big fight.
Remember we're Alamoing and we're close to being defeated and my entire team except for Mav
Mara.
stayed behind.
That's a new one.
He
No, I
he
said
was
Marv
going for
before.
Marv.
Because
and then
Sin
he was
City, I always
correcting
think of
Oh,
himself.
I thought you said Mora.
I can't
Oh,
wait
no.
for the next
I'm a goddess
campaign
now.
where you don't remember everyone's name, but I want it to always be in character that you don't remember.
Yes,
because you're just
I'm
a
okay
big,
with
you're
that.
just gonna be a big stupid idiot.
Oh,
So, just don't fucking.
Dave.
Hey Dave, my name is Devanya. Like you know. Hi Dave.
Skull. Skull.
So, Esther,
Mm-hmm.
the astral plane you said?
Yes.
Bam, you arrive. The bluish-white starry sky, as well as the bluish-white starry ground. Sort of incredibly difficult to get your bearings within the astral plane.
Like an infinity
but
pool.
here you are, and just as empty and peaceful. It is not limbo. Limbo is the like kind of pure sort of milky white kind of nothing
Yeah.
with the like eclipsed sun. This is the astral plane. It is where spirits go when they die. It is an in-between place.
I want
An odd place.
to detect thoughts around me. Do I see any danger?
Interesting.
How's it spelled?
As you kind of
Depends.
hit that, you actually
Lots
hear
of
what
thoughts.
sounds like whispering. Not maniacal, maybe one or two, but not directed to you. Some scared, some confused, some simply talking to themselves, some insane. And you realize you are catching the thoughts of these sort of wandering kind of sprites. They almost look like will-o-wisps, or they're simply like these orbs of light. But they're not will-o-wisps, as will-o-wisps, when they exist in your world, are like undead. These look like, maybe,
souls, yeah.
maybe these are the souls. And as these souls kind of flow kind of above you or underneath you and around you, you can hear them. And you can hear them like, so where am I? Where am I? You know, it's kind of wandering off and like dirty fucking bitch. You know what I mean? These various different things. Sometimes just a crying child or an enraged woman or something of that nature. Just people, intelligent creatures that have died.
I want to pull the Dust Keep and bring it
To
here.
the astral plane.
Yes.
You meditate for a while before in front of you it is almost like the ground, as I said before, it's hard to tell where it differentiates, but you see where the ground is, quote unquote, begins to bubble up, almost like being pushed like like water when you go, and like if you slow it down it's like encasing it, and as it does you see these spikes from your spires as it's almost like pushing through a layer of flesh or something as it rips its way out from the bottom of the astral plane. Not violently or loud or destructive, silently really, just the sound of the stone kind of crashing against the stone as it's building itself. But as it pushes its way out the astral plane, you rip it as it makes its way out and around, but it heals around the castle itself. The castle almost, the Dust Keep almost becoming part of it, like it does everywhere, as it builds itself up and is there before you, and then it looks like it's always been there, like it belongs there.
Damn, Esther, you spooky.
It's a spooky boy. You
like
can see
Disney.
at the
Might
top
be
of
a
the
drink.
Dust Keep,
Go for it.
you always know where he is, but there sits this massive crow looking down upon you.
Okay. I want to approach. Do I see any of the people we took?
So, if they were on the grounds of it, they went with it. So you probably see, as the yard builds up, you see them sort of fade into existence. As the this is because it's the astral plane. They sort of like, and they're like, what the fuck? And it's some of the goblins, some of the creatures. You see a whole bunch of what looks like people in white clothes. Some of them are being harassed by goblins, but all of them sort of stop and look around like, what the fuck just happened? And as you walk onto the grounds, you do see them before you. And you see some of the people in white coats like, what is happening? Those that you recruited are just sort of kind of hanging around, milling about. Some of them are out in the yard, some of them are not. The sorcerer woman that you saw blasting people is not there. Where she is, you're not sure. She may be in the keep. Some people, you can feel life in the keep, whether it be goblins or some of the people with white shirts are probably in there. The soldier and the mercenary that you rescued are out in the yard. It looks like the soldier is just kind of like readying a weapon and, is confused. The mercenary is looks like has his back turned to you and is stomping on something. And Gore is sitting there talking pleasantly to the Orthon.
I want to approach Gore.
Okay.
And I want to tell him we'll call upon you for violence within the next day or so, and tell the others ready the arms. Basically, there's an armory inside the keep. If you haven't found it already, it should be safe for you guys. I won't pull anything screwy. Yeah, be ready. Fun starts. Don't wander too far away from the grounds if you don't want to get lost.
Okay. We stay here?
Yes.
Okay,
You stay
we
close
stay
to
here.
You stay close to the keep. I promise you'll always be safe.
One of the goblins is thrusting a spear at one of the sprites. And the ad's like, and it's just and going through it, and you hear, but yeah, they all seem to just be like, okay.
Okay. I'll go into the foyer and I'll use a charge from my ring to go back to Vampiria.
As you walk,
How long was that? Outside of the astral, how long was that?
How long does it take you to do your spell?
Altogether, that was probably about a half hour.
About half an hour. Yeah, half an hour. Yeah, about because you get the because of your special ability, you cut rituals in half, right?
Mhm.
You fucking. So as you make your way past the mercenary that you rescued, Clyde Fowler, the one who was wearing a dwarf's face on his face, he turns to you. He's now
Thank you,
wearing
dear.
a fresh, different face on his face.
Is it on top of the dwarf face?
No, he seems to have cast away the dwarf face somewhere, but you can see before him what he was stomping on was one of the people in white shirts, who he was just like crushing the skull of, and you see that their face is gone. He seems to have cut their face off, and he turns to him and goes, "Hey, I want to ask you a question, guy.
Not your cat.
What is we like gore, and you guys definitely helped us out and let us out of there. But what's the deal? What is this shit? What's your game?"
We're cutting the world in half. It has wronged us, and now we're breaking it.
Whoa.
Yeah, a little heavy.
I can get behind that.
I thought that where we were, I thought it was a fitting message. It wasn't a ruse, for once, he says to himself.
Out loud.
Yeah.
Huh. All right.
Gore helped us very early on, and this is almost a small gift to him. We would be doing this with or without him, but we figured we could take him along for the ride. We owe him that much.
Well, usually I get paid for shit like this, but fuck these people.
We're pretty if you run across my partner, the headhunter, there might come disagreements, but we're pretty laissez-faire on looting. So if and when that time comes, feel free.
I can keep what I find. All right.
Sweetening the deal.
Yeah, good deal. Cool. And he goes back to stomping the body.
Gross.
Oh, that's gross. I'm sorry.
Oh no, that was out of character.
So you enter the foyer and you are back. Now you used the 9th level spell and your ring.
7th level spell and my ring.
Plane shift is 9th.
It says 7.
What?
Yeah.
I don't want to think
Do you-
about what the 9th level
No
is.
way. No.
Uh-huh. Yep, plane shift. 7th level.
That can't be. That's a 9th level spell. Hold on a
That
minute.
shit is bananas.
No,
I
at
can't finish
first-
that song because of copyright.
At first, I thought I didn't have it because I was looking at under level 9. And I was like, oh, no, I know I have it.
Holy shit, it's 7th level. How is Demi-plane more... What?
Bum, bum, bum,
I can't
bum.
believe... Okay, never mind. I apologize. Wow, I thought plane... That... Oh. I may change that for the next game. That should be a 9th level spell, bro. That's some heavy-handed shit. All right. So,
And
no,
all
you know what?
my
I won't change it. But there are actually things for the next campaign that I want to do with Plane Shift that we can
Good boy.
discuss.
okay.
Why do you try to give kiss?
If any of
Because
you
I
are even
love
magic.
it. He knows it too.
I'm magic.
Woo!
I'll
So
probably be.
you bamf back to the teleportation room, and you open up the door, and there's a smushed grape sliding down the wall.
A grape?
A grape.
A bloody
Smushed
grape.
against the wall. Yeah, bloody grape, kind of sliding down the wall.
Is there anybody around me?
No, you hear the feeding like down like 2 hallways.
The feeding.
The grape got that close.
He turned
Jeez.
the corner.
He bounced and he banked it off the walls. Like
Why are you
like
trying to do-
bullseye. But with a grape.
Curve the grape.
So,
yeah.
do you join their feast?
I stand in the doorway.
You all see Esther.
So this is happening.
Oestre.
I don't know, do I? No, Mav wouldn't. He's. What am I saying?
I want to sit by the Duke.
You
Of
do.
whales?
You do so.
Of
You sit like
whale.
right. He's at the head of the table.
Whale.
You sit about here because it's customary.
Care about their customs.
Am I a tourist?
So, what is your secret?
It's baked with the love.
What do you mean, my secret?
I'm half tempted to just have him tell me some secrets.
Tell me all your secrets.
Tell me all your secrets.
Tell me secrets.
I want to hold up some of the food that I was eating.
You need to eat flesh to like be powerful, right?
Oh.
Well,
It's just
to
like
get
urges.
stronger.
I have urges now.
I should just pocket all this food because it's like a vacuum seal in my bag of holding for you.
But
It will rot.
yeah, it's not the same. This is like
So,
alive.
the secrets. This food is sent to us. We do not know of how it is created in such a way. I do believe the secrets of how this is made is very closely guarded by the necromancers that work for and with the king.
Oh, you're king.
My king.
You're king.
Not King Tanagar, no, he would smite us all if he found us.
Blasphemy.
This is considered evil in his eyes. But I simply consider it classic.
Misunderstood.
No.
I'm not there.
I don't think it's misunderstood. I think everyone understands what this is.
Very well.
But after our business is done, your business with the kingdom is concluded, perhaps you could come back to Vampire. You will always be welcome here, Miss Astrid. And perhaps I can introduce you to the king.
And then enthrall him and you become king.
I will tell you, he is very powerful in his mind.
Not weak like me.
That's pretty much what he just admitted, right?
Yeah.
Is that Esther?
It's not Esther.
Is that Esther?
I'm gonna just be drawing
Is
my
this
character for
Esther?
the next campaign.
Yes.
Complete lady. Is it Esther? Draw a cow.
I'm done.
Is it Esther?
All right. I mean,
You can leave me now.
So tell him to eat the napkin.
So you all finish eating.
tell him to eat the napkin.
Eat the napkin.
Swallow your knife.
Do you tell him to eat the napkin?
No.
Aww.
Okay. There is this argument. He does, and look like nervous as
You're gonna eat
he's
that
definitely a
napkin.
self-important man, and this is killing him.
Yeah, no,
I'm
it is
sure.
out of his element.
You look pale.
You look
I
tan.
get it. Because you're a neck biter.
I could kill you with a snap of my fingers.
But you can't.
I believe I can.
But you can't.
She has given me no order not to. So let
Astrid,
your
Astrid,
turn
Astrid,
rise.
Astrid.
Don't
She gets some
threaten
sun.
my team.
Very well, Miss Astrid.
Apologize.
Tell him to go for a tan.
I am very sorry.
Eat the napkin.
Eat the napkin. Eat the napkin.
I do not listen to you, whelp. I'm so sorry.
So far, 2 people have asked me to have you eat a napkin.
I would rather not, Miss Astrid.
Oh wow, he's telling you what he wants now.
Eat the napkin.
I'm guessing it's like a full cloth.
It's like a
of
linen.
Yeah. Very quickly, as Morgan simply keeps his and her mouth shut as they just sit there and eat grapes and like don't look.
Don't make eye contact with Astrid.
No, Morgan is staying out of.
Stop.
Morgan is trying to stay away from that rage.
Yeah.
And you watch as he devours the napkin
Probably for the
readily.
best.
And
You did
Coughs a
it.
little.
I guess it was a bit dry.
Just like his humor.
he goes back to his hands shaking. He goes back to eating his food.
Quiet now.
I'm done.
The sort of vampire like knights are like whoa,
Did that
bro,
just happen?
like did you see that?
Because they don't know. Like,
They're like, what the fuck is happening? So, unless there's any more nonsense
eating.
and utensil eating, are your utensils made of silver? They're not. Why would they be? That's crazy. So,
I
Are
don't-
vampires so afraid of
Wait,
silver?
Are they made of wood?
no.
Stab yourself through the
Just
heart
like-
with your knife.
Yes, they're probably stainless steel or something.
Because
I
werewolves
want
don't like silver.
Mav to
Vampires also don't like silver.
Really?
grab
Everything doesn't. Look
as much food as he can get in his little like coat. Like if he grabs the ends of his coat, he wants to like get as much food as he can.
Okay, you take. I don't even
Take the tablecloth.
I'll say yeah. You cut
you make
a
a
portion
giant
of the,
hobo sack.
like with a part of the blade that like from your outfit. You slice a big part of the tablecloth and just wrap up like a Santa Claus sack a whole bunch of the food, that's plates and all, as it just as you're like yeah this is good.
Do I see you in the? Where are you? Are you in the
I'm
doorway?
just standing in the doorway watching this.
Mav wants to drag it over to him. Where's my dog?
Where is he?
You have
Was
him.
he on the boat?
He's
He's on the boat
he's on the boat. You're right.
Yeah, he's up on the boat.
There's your
Mav goes to
dog.
the boat.
You want to go back to the boat? So I think at this point they probably definitely allowed the boat to land.
Probably definitely.
Both
Definitely.
of the boats, as you guys brought both of the ships, correct? Yeah. Both
Yeah.
of the boats have landed. And you get onto the boat. I believe it was Mulcher's ship that you were on.
Yeah, I think so.
Everybody was on except for him, who's on the
Mhm.
boat
Right.
dancer. So you get aboard the ship, and you do not find your Canolith on the ship.
Okay.
Lost.
But you do hear what sounds like roughhousing and growling from below deck.
I go below deck with my.
You go below deck, and
Yeah.
you find what appears to be the Canolith and the two Shisuva. Because they are not with you, Astrid, as they stayed on the ship. You guys went to talk to the Duke alone, and you can see that they are all like snarling and growling. And at first you're like, "Whoa, what's going on?" And then you hear, and they all sit down. You see up, and they all stand up, and like he goes,
Who is
there? And you see one of the Shisuva runs over and tackles what appears to be like a simple dummy.
Okay.
And he goes back up, and you can see the
This is
other
Mulch?
Shisuva. Nope,
Eddie.
the other Shisuva hooks around and slams the same dummy from the side,
Eddie?
and you see him go ranged, and the Canolith launches its tongue and just smashes what appears to be two small plates, like over there and over there. And you can see what appears to be Eddie kind of standing there. He is training them with like these like code words and shit. Just training the dogs
Aren't
with
you
them.
aren't you glad I taught my dog that before you started doing that shit? Didn't I teach him well? Didn't I teach him well?
I did not mean to intrude, but they seemed bored,
Yeah, well,
and I thought that this would be useful for them.
I don't think you understand Canolith body language, but that's fine. That's fine. And Mav lets loose the like tablecloth full of meat stuff, and is like,
Yeah.
"All right, bud,
And the tongue
go for it."
and starts tearing it apart. The two Shisuva are like, and they start getting close to it. Do you allow them to eat it as well? The Canolith
I'm not
looks
there.
like he's defensive.
I'm thinking
This could end badly.
For all of us.
in either direction it could end badly. Yeah, I'll let him eat it. I'll let him eat it. I don't want to deal with her.
And Eddie moves over and says, "Tell them feast."
No.
then they will fight. And you can see them start to. They don't understand that they're sharing it.
Listen, you can tell them that if you want to.
Feast.
And all of the dogs simply they look at each other, all these canine-esque creatures, and they all feast together,
Yeah.
tearing
well,
the food
now you got her
apart
to deal with.
violently.
For me, it's a little bit of wounded pride. Who knows what she's gonna say as soon as she comes in and sees you messing with her dogs. Then Mav walks out.
All right.
And he just stands there. Sort of an emotionless man.
That was weird. Now
you-
tap dance.
So,
Hello, my honey. Hello, there.
the dinner finished. Is there anything else you guys want to do?
I think I'm content.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go back to the tree.
Let's go back to Steelport.
But that's.
Yeah, let's go back to Stillport.
Go under the mall. The Bruin.
Why are you gonna see that?
It's gonna brood. We always want to see Vikings.
Hey, why are you gonna see that? So, what would you guys like to do? You spend the night here?
I'm gonna
I'm gonna
sleep
rest.
on the boat.
Night?
And
I don't trust.
I'm gonna rest for my 4 hours, but I want to go kick baby, punch baby.
Excuse me?
Go kick.
He doesn't have the
baby.
ball.
Is there a
Yes, I do.
literal baby?
Do you go back to the boat, or do you
Ah.
have everything brought into the? Do you guys allow your people that were on the boat, like the Garistro and such, to come back to
I'm
enter
s-
the estate?
Especially the Garistro.
Very well. They give him a wide berth as he walks
Oh,
the
wait,
halls
he
Are you
can
calling
get
him
in?
fat?
Wait, he can get in?
into the estate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely like
Oh.
tall. It's like
wasn't-
Gothic and Victorian.
I
The
wasn't
ceilings are
expecting
fucking
him to be
high.
able to get
the
in.
walls are. It's big chambers. He's actually like nice. He can walk around. That's why he doesn't go in the keep. He'll probably like destroy it wherever he walks. Here he can like move around freely. But he does feast upon a few of the slaves and one or two of the vampires. But the Duke says nothing, as he cannot.
Yeah.
So,
Shame.
yeah, so you spend 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Esther,
Uh-huh.
you spend 4 hours resting and 4 hours training, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, then that's what you do.
I did it.
Are you monk man now?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I think I'm like halfway there.
Halfway monk man?
Halfway monk man. Hybrid.
Monk man hybrid. Monkey
You good?
man hybrid.
Yeah, you're good.
Are you good?
Anybody do anything else?
Well, I think it's sleepy time. Mav doesn't do a lot outside of fight
Matt passes out with
Yeah.
his dog.
On the boat.
Just chilling.
Can I read more of the book even though I read up to a certain point already?
Did you actually get up to that point?
Yeah, can I
Because I
read?
can't remember if you
Can I read-
told me at a game or not.
Yeah.
You did?
Can I read more? There's more pieces in there. Can I just keep
No,
reading?
You can't. You have to.
Alright, I'll read the other book.
Okay.
Haha.
Hey man, nothing wrong with monstrosities. And is there anything you wanted to do, or just sleep?
I'm gonna go back to Carla's quarters and sleep behind the desk.
Cry about his
Behind
lost
the
love.
desk?
Yeah, there's
You-
a nice big poofy chair.
Headhunter is asleep. The small baby goblin that was stabbing your leg with a broken femur is now cuddled up in your arms as you're sleeping.
Nice.
Chewing like still
You have a
on
baby
a bone in
Yoda.
his sleep.
I do have a baby Yoda.
You do, but the bloody baby
It's a
Yoda,
little different.
vicious baby Yoda.
How it should be.
So, you all rest for your 8 hours, or 4 hours for you, Esther, right? And no hours for you, Astrid, you sleepless freak. As you all awake to, again, still a midnight sky.
So weird.
Isn't that weird?
It's not that weird.
Isn't that weird?
So, what would you like to do?
Is it time to wake up yet?
The entire estate lays before you, the Duke and all of his people.
Let's. Are we going to war?
Let's go to war.
We're going to war because nobody has any choices to make.
Are you in the boat or in the
Mhm.
estate?
I'm on the boat.
You're on the boat?
Mm-hmm.
On the Mulcher ship?
Yeah.
Eddie approaches you. What has come of the Duke?
He's enthralled currently by Astrid.
Really?
Kind of surprised me. I always forget about that. It shouldn't by this point, but it did.
Well, good. Then I guess we can kill him with ease.
Yeah.
After the business is done.
No, exactly. We have
Is that
full
gonna
control
be
of his army at this point.
satisfying?
That's excellent.
Do you know anything about the keep?
What else do you have to divulge? We've learned a little bit about it.
The champion herself.
Jesus.
He's a champion.
She's very powerful. She always travels with 3 clerics. You're going to want to kill them first. I will assist you in that fight,
How do we deal with clerics?
because I wish to see her dead. You keep hurting them until they're dead. If you have any, I don't know magic. If you have
normally
any
works.
fields of anti-magic, I would use that to stop their healing.
We have a walking field of that, I think.
I could just bear hug him and
Just vomit on him.
release all my gases on his face.
Gross.
It's true though.
Are we here?
What do you plan to do about the sunlight cannon?
I have an idea.
It can fire every 15 minutes.
Well,
He seems to know the exact number.
Yeah,
whereas
he
the other
said
guy-
20. 10 to 20.
which is 15.
15. I told him 15, but he could never remember the exact amount of time.
In my mind, when we lead this assault, if this first wave is not successful and my ploy does not work, then we will retreat because it will be in vain. But if it does work, a lot is going to come undone very fast in Dawn's Hold.
If you have the use of all of the Duke's men, and you care not about what happens to Vampiria, which I don't believe you do, then I suggest you use all of them, which is vast numbers. Whenever he has done frontal assaults, he has never used his entire...
And we can get him to do
Are you
that.
doing it?
Yes.
Are you doing it?
What?
Turning the heat on?
I'm turning it on, yeah.
Okay.
If you throw his entire force, every man and woman at his disposal, vampire or not, I believe we can be very successful. That alone would take quite a toll on Dawn's Hold. It would, of course, in the end, I believe the champion could survive such a thing. Her forces would be decimated as well, and the vampire forces would lose on a frontal assault. But it would most definitely give you the opening that you need.
Did you hear that, Astrid? Are you there?
Oh, I don't think so. I think it's just you.
You're in the comms. You want to be there?
Sure.
All right. The door opens.
I'm here.
Hello!
Repeat.
I'm here.
If you use all,
You heard that?
all of the blah blah blah, all of the Duke's forces, and I believe we can win. However, this will cause a lot of damage to Vampiria, leave them weak at certain points, but it will also leave the sort of lesser roving bands of whelps and things of that nature, the lesser vampires that roam these lands to flood into Mercelia.
So-
That's good.
That's very good.
Yes, it will cause chaos. However, it will also leave Vampiria weak on other parts of the borders, as they will have to send their forces down here, causing war and chaos throughout Vampiria itself, but I don't believe you care, and I don't either.
How long will it take to scramble those forces? To muster them for this charge?
One day. I could do it in a day.
Can you get the Duke on that, Astrid? Assemble the nation's forces.
Alright.
Okay.
Now, how do you plan to destroy the sunlight cannon?
Do you want me to tell you now, or can we wait until we
You
try?
don't have to tell him. You don't have to tell him at all.
Keep it a mystery.
You're gonna have to at least message me about it though if you need me involved.
You
think
don't
you-
have to tell
I think-
any of
No,
us.
no.
Don't worry about it.
Is it what you
Like,
sent to just me?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're
And
planning,
me too.
that's what I like. I'm just trying to get you guys to
Yeah,
that's
no.
all.
We have an idea, but it's just going to require me getting very close. I basically have one shot with a weapon, and
Very
I
well.
want to make it count.
Alright.
Deflect missiles.
Who is going to be attacking the champion?
I think we will all converge on them
Probably
If-
everybody.
Handle the sunlight cannon afterwards?
first.
Mm.
That's our
What?
most. We have a full frontal assault with.
She will go out into the battlefield
That's
to
what I was
face
gonna
them on the
ask.
front lines.
Good.
Yes.
Well, you can try to get it to hit her. If we're around her, they're not going to fire on her.
So Headhunter
Trying to
and
control it may be difficult, but you could do it.
Headhunter and Astrid, if you fight not on our front lines, but I'm thinking we send out the initial charge, let that happen, then bring up the rear with our 2 ships, and you 2 join the fight at that point, whether it be through the air or on the ground. I'll then go in, try to attack the cannon, and if that works, then we know it's working. If not, we call for a retreat. You come with me.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, you'd probably be perfect to sneak in there.
Sure.
You're not even going to need your sneaking ability, but when that time comes, we'll
Sure.
make sense.
I'm following you. Whatever you need me to do.
Sound
You
good,
can
Headhunter?
control any of her clerics. That may be of great use.
That would be excellent.
I will try. Because we did a long rest, right? Let me...
I mean, we could do another one because we need
Do
to
you have any one of the
scramble.
scrolls?
We do, but I don't think we need to use it.
Okay.
Last resort, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well,
what the Duke was saying, something about protection against magic, so I don't
You
know.
could just make the Duke swallow the scroll just for fun.
Do you have a whole bunch of those grenades
I
still?
don't think so. I think I only have like 2 at a time.
Did you hear what he said about the clerics and your radiation?
Yeah, bust the nut. I mean, yeah. I was spraying myself on them.
That's not any better.
That's a
She
little
will
better.
have, she will have clerics and soldiers. Soldiers
Drop a hot
will be
load of
terrified.
radiation on them.
The clerics
I
are
have
more
rip rounds,
difficult
that-
as they can heal her and the soldiers around them.
So,
I mean, I could do a lot of confusion.
Clerics are squishy.
no, and that's why you
They
and
can be- they will
Headhunter.
be-
Because I have
Complete
darkness.
That's
that
why
I can
you
do.
and Headhunter lead up the
That doesn't stop.
finesse division. You know, you'll be safe
That's why I
or
use armor piercing rounds.
pick your fights and then join it when you're ready. Headhunter, you just cap everybody that moves, and then when we strike, and if it's successful, we all converge on where the champion revealed themselves.
Yes. Very well.
Team on 3
So then, in a day,
in a day.
Who wants the Holy Avenger rapier?
I don't know if I do. What does it do? What's the stats on it?
Should we take a break there?
Yes, let's take our 5-10 minute break. Good one.
What does it do?
Pause it, pause it, pause it.
To battle! Yes, please, the knocking sound. It's beautiful.
That me snorting at the dog. I'm sure that's great ASMR.
All right.
We're good.
You don't need to.
Oh, is the camera fine?
Yeah, why? What's wrong?
I don't think you're in it.
Am I not?
I see your head moving from
Yeah.
here.
If you lean back, you. Oh, there
I'm
you
gone.
go.
Mm-hmm.
Goodbye.
He bumped into it. that's
So,
You got it?
Diddy.
You want me to do it?
so are we resetting the camera?
Yeah, keep going.
Go ahead.
Keep going, keep going, keep
Why would I
going.
keep going?
fine. Keep going.
Ruining it.
I'm not stopping the recording.
Ruining
Jeff
my
always
life.
ruins it.
He's ruining my whole life.
You ruined it.
ruined it. So,
What the hell is that from?
I don't know.
Dude, we've been saying it for like 8 years now, though.
it's from Family Guy.
Ah.
You have
Ruined
great
it.
armies are gathering
For the
near
dance
the
off.
border, and
Vampire armies?
yes, at like the estate. I would say that they're all gathering here to then
Is it
march.
better?
Gathering at the estate, at the foot of the estate of Duke Getaway and Duke.
Of Wales.
Sir Fribble Pop and
The
Jared.
two wicked-looking boats sitting at these sort of like landing pads at the estate. These the sky sort of swarms with these flying sort of creatures flying around the castle, and the ground littered with thousands and thousands of soldiers.
Oh shit.
Probably at this point,
Yikes.
legions probably numbering about.
350.
I would say you have probably 5 million people.
Oh,
Welcome to the armies of Vampiria. They have a lot of people.
okay.
The humans that they use to fight, these soldiers, they are cannon fodder. They are used to throw, they have shitty weapons. Well, the weapons are of okay make. Their armor, not so much armor. They obviously don't care about the lives of their soldiers. They just want them to run in there, kill, and die. But that seems what they'd be good at. The people look ravenous in their own right. disgusting, sort of covered in this like black paint that they put on themselves, and like kind of vicious to each other. These are wild people. But they don't seem super well organized. Then there are these few vampire commanders. Per like every 100,000 people, there's like one vampire commander. Now these guys are pretty powerful. They look strong. And Eddie does tell you that they are pretty powerful vampires. So they can hold their own, but definitely not against a champion. But one of those vampires could probably take out a good number of soldiers on their own. They are always mounted atop these like great, terrible sort of like undead-looking steeds. So you have this horrific army, one of the armies of Vampiria. You see that mixed in with the rabble of regular soldiers and the occasional vampire commander, there is what appears to be like this like horrific sort of hulking creature. They're larger, and there's a good couple of them dotted all over the place, and they look like stitched together people. Horrific looking kind of abominations of mashed together flesh. Astrid, did you spend a day creating anything?
The Oogie Boogie Man.
You can think about it while I keep describing, because there's more stuff. The creatures flying overhead seem much more armored than the soldiers, the foot soldiers on the ground, the sort of flying bat monsters. These vampires have what appears to be, some of them have bows, some of them have spears and javelins, and some of them have these like gnarly hooks on chains. It looks like they have various different missions, some simply to pepper from above, some to strike down stronger foes, and some to hook people off of vehicles and horses and such. They do have what appears to be great, terrible, undead kind of hounds that they will use.
Vampire Dobermans?
Kind of like Vampire Dobermans,
Oh
yeah.
my god.
Hellhounds.
And yeah, I
Like
think
the-
that's it. No
the
real
death
great
hounds from
vehicles.
Scream.
No, actually, no, you called upon his whole fucking army.
They're driving fangs.
There are quite a few siege engines. Basically, these large towers
Meme engines.
that are made to go. Think like Lord of the Rings, those big fucking towers. That look like wicked looking and look like they're definitely made to fuck some shit up when they get there. There's
We get copyright.
Kevin
smaller,
McLeod when you got Alex.
smaller sort of tank-like vehicles, but instead of being all like motorized, they definitely run on like magic. And it looks like they're a little faster and made to just sort of batter and ram through the opposition, and they look like they're kind of in the front.
Batmobiles. Batmobiles.
Yes.
Oh.
You have these wicked
Layers.
and terrible looking things all around you, numbering in the thousands, the millions, really. And
Billions.
this is the first time you've probably seen an army this big at the ready.
Huge.
How do you even
A series of
IRL.
tubes.
have you ever seen 1 million people in one place?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, GameStop.
Yeah, when my mixtape dropped.
You're talking about medieval like war armies. They would have like 1 million person on each side, or like probably
you
like
all.
I would say like
100,000.
3,000.
There's no way there's 1 million.
There's never been an
Hundreds of
army
thousands.
bigger
I
than
would say
about
like
350.
3,000.
Hundreds of thousands I would be willing to believe. 1 million people
I
is
think like 100,000 people died on like one day in World War One. Like when the
Three.
Battle of the Somme, I think it was like 100 and something.
Yeah, this
Said
isn't World War
100,000?
One.
100 something thousand people died.
Oh yeah,
This
the
is
Russians
medieval-
were dying in the fucking dozens,
Yeah.
tens of dozens
People,
and everything.
people are not. People are like ants. We are all over the fucking
Dozens of
place.
thousands
There
is
is
what I
like,
was trying
what is there,
to
like
say.
10 billion of us now, or 12 billion of us now on the
Yeah,
planet?
but we're not all
5
fighting
million's
one
piss
war.
nothing. You know what I mean? Plus, my
I'm
world's
just
fucking
saying,
big. When I go armies, I go big.
I'm not even saying that. I'm saying literally sitting here trying to imagine what that looks like. I don't know
You
if
see,
I've
like,
ever
one
seen
guy?
1 million people in one place.
Times that
you
by
do.
million.
So that's like how many?
Probably as
like-
far as your eye can see.
It's like what
Uh,
TumblrCon was. Think of that many people. That's
Okay,
that's about
DashCon.
1 million people.
What's it called?
DashCon.
DashCon.
Like the dashboard.
There was like 4
Wow.
people
There was, like,
and
a
a blow up.
4.2 million and 18,000 blow up tubes.
Did you
I
see
can't
Us?
find a cave. Oh, I saw
The movie
that.
Us?
You
When they
all,
hold hands?
yes,
That.
but they're in a line. Also, they were dumb. They were getting ripped apart by helicopters. Dumb idiots.
Stupid, dumb.
I
Stupid,
think I'm
dumb,
thinking of
stupid.
another movie.
Big dumb
Us.
babies.
At the end of the movie, they're all holding hands and
Uh-huh.
it goes for miles. And if you watch, helicopters are flying above them, ripping them apart. Yeah, we weren't like, oh, this
I
is
guess
cool.
I
We were
turned
like,
it
let's
off
kill them
early.
all. These guys are fucking crazy. Weird fucking
Us?
underground clones. Kill them. I'm not doing that. Yes.
Why did Spider-Man help them?
Because he died, remember?
Oh yeah, his
Did
clone
you
was
put your
better.
finger
webbed
up
himself
to
up
interrupt
the-
me, and then you, what do you got going on over there?
A cave fisher.
Okay.
Oh, she's been answering your question.
You're building monsters?
I don't know.
There was no segue back into that topic.
No, she put her finger up, and that was it.
Astrid speaks.
Takes 60 minutes. Requires a handful of silverfish.
Ooh.
Okay, like
So-
the actual fish or like the little guys? That
No,
hang
the
out
little
in houses?
guys. Yeah.
Okay.
You could. Hey, you're in like a vampire castle.
No, that's why-
Grab 'em by the
It's
fistful.
That's like their
always
main
cool and
export.
Damp, yeah.
How many can I make?
About 350.
How many? Is that all you want to make? How many hours are in a day?
24.
I'm gonna go by the time, not the resources for this.
Oh, I
because-
forgot. This isn't.
That's the only
Okay.
thing we don't use in our
Oh,
D&D.
actually, I'm sorry. You're in a vampire castle. They have their own ritual table. Cut that in half to a half an hour per.
I was supposed to.
All right. Well, then
So
give
48.
me time. Because now I
Alright,
have to
you
do
have
math and shit.
All of the time that you need to create things are cut in half. I'm gonna jump to these guys.
That's
What
fine.
you see before you, this massive army, you guys are probably standing on like at like sort of a balcony of the keep, looking over this or of the estate.
Kind of getting a character.
As you do hear horrific sounds coming from them. These terrible these
Remember the soundboard?
as Sirenscape shit. Yeah,
I'm so immersed.
I do think honestly for the next campaign I might pay to have it because I
You have
think
to
it'll
pay
be
for
worth
that?
it. Yeah.
I feel like they should pay us.
What?
Get a free app. Take a soundboard app on your phone or your
I guess, but they have like cool music and like I don't know, they have such cool stuff. It's like made for.
And we won't get copyright.
If I can
right?
find something better, maybe. But no, yes, Sirenscape is you can use it. For
I just love when you
You
would
pay
like
for it,
mix
so.
stuff up and we're talking and it just out of nowhere it goes ching. Ah!
Bugbear battle is what that was. As you guys look upon it, the Duke is most likely arranging things, writing letters and the like, unless you demanded that he come with you on the battle. But that we can save that for later.
We should tape him to the front tower.
Eddie looks down upon the armies. We are no longer allowed, or the Duke was no longer allowed to use some of the more powerful creatures of the night. The king punished him for his perpetual failure in destroying Dawn's Hold. But we outnumber them. There are about 3 million people in Dawn's Hold total. Not all of them. There are always 1 million within the hold itself, and about 2 million spread out across the border. Now, if they don't know that
That's
we're
a lot.
attacking, what?
That's a lot.
There is. If they don't, Dawn's Hold's a huge place.
Uh,
If they don't know that we are attacking, then they will be spread out. But because of your recent escapades with Holy Stone, they may have reinforced it.
And
So
plus
let
the
us
fact I don't
assume.
think you can hide 5 million people.
5 million
Oh, no.
people.
Well, they don't know that we're here now. Their spies never last long in Vampiria.
Is that right?
But I will say that
Yes.
if they only have 2 million people, even if they have full numbers, and let us assume that we are up against full numbers, I think that we can definitely still succeed. I don't believe that this army can defeat Dawn's Hold on its own. But I do believe that we can get our job done.
Undubitably.
Something else you should know about the champion.
Oh, here's the one thing.
She wields a weapon.
That's it. The end. She wields a weapon.
She has a weapon.
It is the Holy Avenger. There are items similar. Holy Avenger this, Holy Avenger that. But there was only one true Holy Avenger sword.
Fucking Max.
I was just gonna say right under the microphone.
Maddox, stop chewing your fucking toe! Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy, I love you. Well, now he's just smacking the fucking table with his.
Oh, you wagging his head.
Do you want me to put him to BED?
Sleep.
I think he's
So-
a guy.
Okay. Well, if he gets too obnoxious, let me know.
This sword is legendary. It is incredibly powerful and incredibly dangerous. Not only that, but she wields a shield. It moves on its own.
That way she can use the sword with 2 hands, making her much more dangerous. The shield will protect her on its own.
So we gotta hit her 2 at a time at least.
Yes.
Shield can't be in 2 places at
I
once.
would honestly. We should all hit her at the same time.
Does the shield have eyes?
No, but it seems to know where attack sword is magically enchanted. Some magical.
Magically
nonsense.
delicious.
I don't think so.
Let's see how hard I can sneak today, you guys.
She also seems to be blessed in some way. Whereas normal fighters can only attack or cast a spell of some kind, she can do both in a relatively short amount of time.
She's double spec'd.
She can.
She's the level 40.
She can really nuke the shit out of something if she wants to. Back when the Duke was allowed to use more powerful creatures, she would take them on herself, smiting them with ease. So, don't get hit by her sword.
Or her anything for that matter. it sounds like.
Or her anything.
Oh, let's see.
That's it.
Okay. So
Is she in love?
Oh.
No, but she has pride in battle,
you guys are a match made in heaven.
and she will try to
Or hell.
protect her own people. That is something that some of the champions lack, but she does not. If you hurt some of her own people, a soldier though she is, she will try to defend them. That is how I was able to take her eye.
Ooh. We should show her
We're
the
gonna
eye.
need to move that.
I'm about
We should show her her own eye to get her upsetty.
I hate it.
Take her other eye. Oh wait, she can only see one of us at a time.
That's not how that works.
So,
I'm just gonna aim for her eye.
I know.
He's okay. He doesn't have his
You
chewy.
just
Did he
wanna-
knock the camera? Are we good? Okay.
No, I think we're fine.
So, Duke, what kind of speedsters did you have?
Sounds like a dog.
So you go back down to the Duke's room, or throne room, as he's still sitting there, has made no attempt to get in any armor or go anywhere. So our fastest creatures are our aerial combatants. They can get you from point A to point B the fastest.
How many? They can carry one each. One of us.
Oh yes, only one person per creature.
Okay. You think that does that work for you?
Doesn't one of you have a spell of making me not weigh anything? Or like mage hand or something?
No.
Featherfall?
There are enough to spare.
So it would be you and I on our own flying things going in?
I think our monk stuff gives us all featherfall.
Yes, you all do have. Those who have trained enough, you have Featherfall because you
What is
finished
that?
training.
But I have it.
Have it
Anyway.
like in my
Did you
sheet.
do it?
No, I don't have the monk
Oh,
training.
you just had Featherfall?
Yeah.
What is it?
I've saved that
Weird-
before,
you
remember?
weird source. Oh, you also had
He has wings.
I had wing. No,
You
I'm not concerned
literal
about.
wings.
Do we want to just take a ship on a flyby? Can we get her to expend a? Can you summon an image of Draxia in the battlefield?
Yeah.
We should do something
Oh,
funny.
shit, that's really good.
We should do like the
I
puff
can summon
boy
her
from
3 times if I wanted to.
I was gonna
Ghost Puff
say,
Marshmallow?
Yeah,
no,
from
it should
Ghostbusters.
probably be something that'll really scare the shit out of them because they're not stupid. They're not just gonna jump at the nearest foot. That's a good one.
I can make it so that it looks like the ground splits apart and she crawls up out of it.
Do you want to do that? You want to send the front wave out right
She's
now
gonna
and do that?
love that. She's gonna love that.
Send.
Where did we go?
Let me.
He's right
Alright, hold on. So
Oh,
I
he
think what I'm
gets
gonna
you.
do.
Oh yeah, let's give you a tally.
This absolutely sucks having to do this on the phone.
Do you want my iPad?
No, it's okay. I think for simplicity's sake, because I'm reading over them and they seem pretty cool, I am just gonna make
A fuck ton of silverfish.
those cave whatevers.
Cave fishers.
Cave fishers. Because they have like super adhesive.
It matches
Goo.
the gross aesthetic of what we're dealing with right now.
Their
too, the
blood is
grays.
flammable, so if you guys know
Shit.
that, when they get real low in health, they become immune to fire, and their blood is flammable. So just fucking light them up. And yeah, I think.
But we
I'll
don't
just
have
make-
anything that makes fire.
I can.
I'm joking. We are nothing but
I
an
can.
inferno. I can.
So they're like little bombs.
Time before.
Big bombs.
That bite.
They're like
This is
boomers.
actually turn. How many can you make?
They're like
So
boomers.
you said split it in half, right?
Split the time in half, so it only takes you half an hour to eat to make.
And how it doesn't have a limit. So what are we doing? Are we spending this whole day prepping?
Like spend
You
like
could.
6 more weeks.
Don'to will be very ready for you.
We
They
need-
don't know what.
No, we're
attack's
still
coming.
snowballing from the prison. We should hurry, but we can take another day. Is that what you
Well, I
Take
mean,
one more day.
well, no, we don't need to take another day because there was a whole day we skipped.
Yes,
Plus we
You know
have a
what I
whole
mean?
that's the day
army.
that you
Yeah.
we're doing this.
So it could be.
So 24 hours.
I only need 4 hours of rest technically. So,
Actually,
So 20 hours.
20
double that
hours.
to-
40,
20 times 30. Is that what it is?
6.
Is that how we do this?
How many can
I
you
would
make?
think
How many does it say that you can make in one
There's
sitting?
no limit. There's
no,
no limit on
there's to create. I think it's probably one cave fisher for an hour. Correct.
it. For every 60 minutes.
For every 60 minutes, you can create one cave fisher. There is a ritual table in
Yeah.
every
So I can make 2 an
vampire
hour.
keep, so you can make 2 an hour. So if we
That's 40.
you've made
overall.
40
Okay.
in a day.
No,
Now
it's-
they're pretty powerful creatures. They're pretty goddamn dangerous.
They're squishy, but they can do a
They fucking
lot.
explode. Yeah, I mean, launch them on catapults or something.
They're like weird, gross spiders.
Yes. They're also very low to the ground. That's not nothing.
Oh, I think they can go underground.
That's terrifying.
Like the little
Get them under all the walls and
Jabbly
just
boys
detonate.
from when we fought at the.
I would
It makes sense
suggest.
because they're made out of silverfish.
I would suggest putting them in. Put them into 2 of the siege engines.
Let me see what their size is.
I can try to ensure that those 2 siege engines.
They're
are-
medium. They're people size.
Yeah, siege engines are full of people.
Okay.
they
Okay.
made
Put
other
them in 2
people.
of the siege engines, and I can make sure that they get
Sandwich 'em.
inside the keep.
Okay.
I could do that.
Okay.
All right. He just stares forward. What is he doing here?
Oh shit!
No, he is to be killed instantly. Miss Astrid, you do not know how dangerous this person
We let him
is.
out.
You let him out. He cares not for Vampiria or our victories at all. He cares
We don't
only
really care
for
either,
bloodshed and
to be quite
war.
honest with you.
He's sitting by the door. I wanted to make
You
sure
care
that
to
he
win,
wins.
do you not?
Yeah.
This man will go off and do his own thing.
Eat this grenade.
I was gonna say, here's a napkin. Baby,
Time
want
you speak
snack?
after.
Shut up, baby
vampire Duke.
Dookie wants snacky.
I'm sorry, Miss Astrid, but I refuse to work with
You
you.
don't have the
Oh.
choice.
Very well.
Just tears.
The eyes
Blood
are
vessel
screaming.
pops, yeah.
Of course, Miss Astrid. It's not a good thing.
And
This isn't
listen,
like a-
when we're all done here, he has unfinished business with you, so I want to make sure that you're around for it. So try to stay alive as best as you can.
I see.
When he has
You
to
want
do
us
it.
to
He has
fight
to
to the
do that,
death,
like-
a
No.
glorious duel.
I don't know what he wants with you. I think he
Prob-
wants to kill you.
Probably
I don't
take
know.
your booty.
I want to eat his heart. Oh dear.
He wants to eat your heart.
Do vampires
Savage.
have hearts?
What?
Do vampires have hearts?
That's
You-
racist.
Yeah.
They do. Well, we do.
Where the fuck are the keys?
You
Okay.
guys don't seem
I
to
do.
care about anything.
40.
I don't.
We're nihilists.
He doesn't either.
I care about Vampiria, the good of our people. How dare you, human warrior?
I have a lot of napkins.
Alright,
So we're ready to
So
let
here-
loose the hogs of war?
Here's what I
We
have.
should put war paint
You
on.
sicken me,
Shut
brave, powerful
And then the
man.
white doo-doo on your
We have
face.
40 of these cave fishers. We have 3 giant skeletons.
Give them their mustache with doo-doo before the
Poop
war.
mustache.
Do you,
Making poop.
do you
This-
put your
This is
Yes.
war.
up your ass?
Yes, this is
and-
war.
As you were discussing this, Esther, you hear no, and you look over and you see head under, and he's putting Vonnis is in your backpack going, Alex, come on, that's
He's a
ridiculous.
vampire.
He's a vampire. That's still the man should have some dignity. This is disgusting.
How much should he owe you?
What was it, like 240,000 credits?
coin, but yes.
Yes.
You're not in the future, Mr. Future Man.
More poop under your nose. In the nose.
It's like copper.
Still
It's
smell. I'm dead, but I can still smell.
Pay your debt.
It's been paid.
Has it not? Very well, Morgan, pay the man. I will show you to the coffers.
Yeah.
Just book it back to the castle. And
Yeah, I
see
can
Alex.
just, I just going on vacation
But
now.
only pay him what we owe.
Or double.
Double or nothing.
I mean, there was interest,
Interest
right?
gains, yes.
That's what you get when you don't pay your,
I charge 50%
your
interest.
mercenaries.
Pay him 300,000 from our coffers.
240 plus 240.
Very well.
That's like.
fine.
Alex, you're getting a good deal. Let it be.
That's not a good deal. I said double. Astrid said double. That's 480,000.
You do not need $480,000.
I do, I have a-
dollars.
An army to arm. And a gun to design.
He's
And materials to buy.
Bye.
napkin boy.
I have money signs in my eyes right now.
You're gonna die in like an episode.
Yes.
You're gonna get all this money. We're gonna loot
Oh,
it off of your corpse.
We forgot to do it again.
Did I long rest?
Yeah, you keep forgetting to tell me that.
Well, it's not my job to tell you to kill me.
You're right. Next, don't worry about it. Next, we'll get to
No, I'll do it now.
We'll kill you
Well,
next
because
time.
it's not narratively cool now. Do it later.
Wait,
Let's say.
oh,
I'll tell you what.
wait,
did,
well,
you,
sec.
did you? You could kill some of the servants.
Okay,
You-
I'll do that.
So every morning you woke up.
Wait, I
Hello, sir. I brought you.
want to ask
Catch the team.
Tiny
who
Tim.
the Duke's favorite servant is.
Wait, who's the Duke's favorite servant?
Yeah.
What?
Tiny Tim.
Why that
Jim
is,
works his heart
that
out.
is, that is kindly young Jimmy. Young Jimmy has been. He's been the only thing teaching me that perhaps I have lost a part of my human self. Perhaps once I was a father and could have loved a human child as boom.
And
Little Jimmy.
Then I'm gonna wipe Jimmy's blood on his face again.
You have annihilated this Duke's heart and soul as the terrible
You never
three
had
do what
one.
they do. Okay, can we now get to what we're supposed
Sorry,
to do?
roll
Let's
playing.
slip
That's
the
what
hogs
happens.
of war.
Let's slip the hogs of stop rubbing poop on the Duke. Let's slip the hogs of war. Poop on the Duke. Poop Duke.
The name of the episode. Poop on the
Poop
Duke.
Duke.
That's
Please
no.
make it so.
No. Maybe.
The Poop Duke.
Y'all are such boys.
So, Astrid's allowing it all.
Yeah, she is. She's commanding it.
So,
I'm sorry.
you have filled the siege engines, 2 siege engines, with these explosive.
What's it?
He's taking off all his clothes.
God.
Cave fishers, right?
You're okay. Go
Kinda
ahead.
let
It's
fish.
alright. Take a little nap.
Okay, so are you marching? Is this everything that you need?
humans?
We're sitting standing on the decks of the ships,
I could
waiting.
wave to your
Let's send in
neighbor
the
from
first
window.
wave.
What's up?
We're sending in the
that
first wave.
Yes.
Okay, you need. All right, so you.
How
you
far
all
away
traveled.
are we?
So it's going to take quite a few hours to get there.
Okay.
I'm gonna say you probably have about probably one long's rest worth on your way there. If you guys want to do another one, you have no materials by which to create anything on this long rest, so we can just skip through it. If you want to polish off,
Are we on the boats?
Yes. If you want to do 4 more hours of your karate ball,
I'll do
You can
karate
go
ball.
ahead. As you do,
I need to get
Uh,
the actual details of Crowdy Ball at some point.
don't you have it?
Alex has it, remember?
It said what it all did. Didn't
You
it?
never put it, I
You never
think,
put
in
it
our
in my
inventory.
Oh God damn
I
it!
have it.
We'll worry about it later. That's
I'm
what I'm
gonna
saying.
destroy the ball so no one else.
I
can
have
use
it.
I have it
Do you
I do.
have it, or do you have it in spirit?
in spirit. I kept it because I have a reason for keeping it.
So
No,
you guys
Hard
have
Light Holo Trader.
probably one long's rest worth to get there.
Your head's between
Esther
the two
Markov
tables.
that you are. Oh dear.
Careful you don't hurt yourself.
Esther Markov that you're doing 4 more hours of your karate ball,
Okay.
and Korlock.
Is that what the kids are doing these
joins
days?
You.
He
Huh?
joins you?
He joins you for karate. Master.
How many do I need? 24?
You need 40 hours.
Oh shit.
How many do you have?
20.
You've been doing 4-hour increments.
Yeah,
right?
I'm at 20.
Sleepy.
Um,
What are you doing? Do you need to go bed?
12,000 hours.
Okay, you now have it in your inventory,
Why? It's in my bag.
so she can read what it does.
Come here, Maddox.
You have it in your inventory.
You're going to bed. Bye. It's okay.
Oh no, he's going to bed.
He's like falling asleep.
Yeah.
He's sleeping on the couch.
Oh, I love him so much. Is he trying to chew on stuff to keep himself awake?
Yes.
Oh, I love it.
Evan does
If
the same
anybody can
thing.
get his collar, get. Oh, good boy. Say goodnight to the fat boy.
Not let him sleep.
Night job.
I can't let him sleep on the couch.
It's just easier when because then we have to wake him up from being passed out.
Oh, and he's
Dead.
It's okay when he's passed out on the bed, but it's still even a pain in the ass to get him to 3 feet to the cage.
all right. So you are making your way there.
Downtown.
Walking fast.
Kissing
You don't
glass.
have to rest if you don't want to, so you don't need to.
I would say don't.
I'm just gonna keep experiencing levels of exhaustion
No.
until I die.
You don't need to actually rest. By the time you get to the battle, it'll be like the same day.
Okay.
So you're fine. So I'm gonna say you guys make you guys make it to the border of Vampiria. A couple miles ahead of you is Dawn's Hold. What?
What was it?
Okay. Okay.
You messaging me?
What about me?
Some of these scouts have been eliminated. I will say because you chose to bring Eddie with you, he knows where a lot of their scouts usually travel, as he used to fight them a lot, so he's had them routed out and destroyed. So it seems like you may still have the element of surprise on your hands.
Ooh.
And as you arrive, you can see the border of Vampiria where the night ends, and you see dusk on the other end, right across the border, and you see the sun slowly dipping down behind the great mountains and the keep in the distance. There is the Repenting Range behind, very far in the distance, sort of at the horizon, and the sun is dipping below that, where you had destroyed Holy Stone Mine. And in the that's the background, and in the middle ground, the foreground is Dawn's Hold, as it's standing there bright and beautiful. Though still very far in the distance, you probably have to look at it through a powerful looking glass. So you decide to send your first wave?
Hold on.
You wanted me to stay back?
Unless you want to run with them. Yeah, because we're trying to get them to expend the first cannon.
How
When-
many?
Kinda
Is that
wanna
like
ride
1 million
tower.
people?
Do we have more than 1 million people?
You're no-
There's 5 million soldiers.
Oh, I don't really have one. When am I doing the?
You outnumber Dawn's Hold like
Open
Hold on, it's
the charge. Make
The
make her come out of the hole, and then start the first wave.
all right.
So you were casting Major Illusion.
So it's 2 spells that I'm gonna do.
What's the distance? Because you need to get closer to it.
So 300 feet and 120 feet.
I see. So you're gonna, if you don't want
I believe.
the ships,
Hold on.
do you want the ships to be seen by her? Like, do you care if you guys are like, here we come, Dawn's Hold?
Not
or do
yet.
you want to kind of stay in the darkness and in the hidden sort of forest?
After the
of-
second or third wave, after the first wave, we'll bring the ships in, but keep them hidden for now.
Hey,
Okay. Yes.
in the time of Emperor Septimius Severus, in the Roman army reached around 500,000 total individuals,
Okay.
with 33 legions.
This ain't Rome.
This is Rome.
My world's bigger. That's a lot of fucking. It's 500,000 people.
That's 500,000.
Yeah. Now imagine what 5 million is. My armies go big, bitch.
Let me multiply this.
The way I always wanted my world to be big, everything's big and crazy and nuts. So
Erotic.
So it looks just
Erotic.
like this.
but vampires, and not Romans.
Why do you keep harping on the Roman thing? Nico Belly.
That's not.
So there's 3 different kinds of main front lines that you guys can attack from. By the way, there is the Thin Trees, which is sort of a destroyed forest. It still has some limited coverage and a few like larger
dressed like
hills.
trees.
You guys can be in there. It's called the Thin Trees because they annihilated a lot of the forest itself. Stop! Why are you smiling?
We could dress
We'll
like
get to it.
trees.
The what?
We could dress
You can
like
dress
trees.
like trees. There is the ruins
I could
of
just be a
Port
tree.
Moon, Portnoom used to be a large city. It is now ruins. It was one of the battlegrounds where the vampires will try to reach in that way, and they fight them off. And then there is the trench fields. Trenches dug out by the vampires. This was Eddie's where he usually fought. But you can choose. I feel like you guys are more of the forest area, right? Because that's
How
somewhere
could
where
you assume
you could also
my
hide your
forest?
people in the ruins of Portnoom, which is again massive sort of destroyed buildings and such. And these are like these are like where their main battlegrounds were.
Where
they
would the
usually
towers really be coming into play? Is there like flatlands?
Yeah, they kind of need a little bit more room, but they seem to just crush shit in their way. But they're big and they're slow. But Eddie said that he could defend at least 2 of them and get them there. The other ones might be destroyed.
So wait, is the thin
Actually,
trees? What's the
defense,
middle one? What's the not
The
ruins?
ruins and the trenches.
The trench fields.
So the siege is probably going through the trees. I'm guessing?
Yeah, you can attack from multiple ones if you want. If you want to send like a wave through the trench fields, a wave through the forest, and a wave through the Portnoom ruins, you can do it all.
The city is like this. Let's just say for
Dawn's Hold?
Yeah, for
Dawn's
argument's
Hold.
sake, it's a circle. Where around it are those?
So they're all sort of in like a semicircle in order to get to it. The Vampiria has never been able to get behind Dawn's Hold. Dawn's
So it's
Hold
like
fucks them up.
like a hemisphere, and then
Yeah,
all of those
like,
are like points.
Dawn's
along
Hold
where you should
holds the
empty
line
your-
and stops them from breaching it all. All of the battlegrounds are here, and there's random fields and mountains and
Yeah.
shit that they fight. These are like the main badass areas I had set for it, where you have Portnoom, which is over here, the main forest, which is sort of in the middle, and then the trench fields.
This
Can
is
I
what
lead
we're
the
good.
second wave of towers?
I was just gonna say, which one do you want?
Which
Which area?
What do you prefer?
We're gonna send 1 million through each one.
One is more urban, and that's the ruins of Portnoom. And then there is the forest, and then trench.
I think the
World
forest
War
is more-
One trenches where
Yeah,
people are
that's
like
pretty
fucking
cool.
running.
We're
through.
gonna send-
You're gonna have a lot of close quarter combat and like fighting like that.
I think maybe the urban one.
And is that in
seems
the
like
middle?
your kind of thing.
Is the urban one in the
The
middle?
forest is the middle.
The forest is
urban
the middle.
like
The urban one and the fields are on the 2 sides, kind of.
So the urban one's on our right, let's say.
Whoops.
No, you don't have to go too crazy.
Let's say that is Dawn's Hold. Let's say ruins of Portnoom. And then let's say Alex is the forest, and you are the trenches. Let's switch you guys because I feel like you're a forest guy.
All right.
Trenches, and you are the forest.
So put Alex actually near the urban stuff. That's
Okay,
where he's gonna go.
Portnoom.
So what we're gonna do, we're gonna send 1 million.
Oh man, those are slick.
Thank you. They're just like the generic brand. They're not anything
Very
special.
cool though.
We're gonna send 1 million in each initial wave. We're gonna
On each.
yeah, and
So
then
you won't that, and now you have 2 million in reserve.
Astrid's gonna do the symbol thing.
The
Dra-
They're
Draxia.
coming out of
Yeah.
the ground. Where should she go though?
Probably up the gut, like in front of the first wave. Like do that, and then as they're coming,
in the forest, or
Yeah.
okay.
and then we're gonna backload. Once the first wave is going strong, we'll have the following 2 million follow Alex with the siege push on the western
Can we
side.
see the cannon?
So, again, powerful looking glasses. No. Dawn's Hold is essentially a huge wall, and it's kind of like a circle with sort of like a hexagonal wall. And then there's a huge, almost looks like a cathedral in the center. It looks like its own church with a massive stained glass window dome at the top. Comes sort of a rounded top. It looks like that opens. But they do not know that you are here yet, so
Right.
it is not opening yet. But the minute any battle starts, that motherfucker comes out. But you do see the light shining, or as the dying light of dusk shining bright against the sort of stained glass dome. And Eddie can tell you for sure, yeah, that's where it is. It has a 360 view.
Of course.
It can turn all the way around.
I imagine that would probably take at least a little while. 'Cause it's a
It
big-
also takes
big
15
honking
minutes
thing.
to shoot. It's huge. It's a
Yeah.
huge, like, boom, but it just fucking decimates anything it shoots. So, like, wherever it shoots, you've lost that. You know what I mean? Like, there's no saving that, but
I'm just thinking because if there's nobody there, if I put down the illusion and people come into the illusion, they see through the illusion.
So let the wave go first.
I
Yeah.
agree with
Do
that.
it. We'll
I
let the first wave spearhead the attack.
And
Let
once
them
there's
push
enough
first.
people in there,
Agreed. Plus, the first million is supposed to be our buffer, so let them one going through up the
I
gun.
wanna-
Kill a
I wanna
million of our
pull-
troops for a buffer?
I want to pull out that
They're
champion.
not all gonna die.
Is it two?
We got
Two
a
or
big.
one here?
We got to kite them.
Therefore, what?
2 or 1 champions.
One champion.
One
is
champion.
supposed to be
Three
in
clerics.
here.
Okay.
With 3 clerics
And
and
one
the
cup.
soldiers.
Okay.
I would be
What?
surprised.
Exactly.
Let's-
Into the cup. And then
So where are you sending your million troops from?
million up the gut.
Your first
in the
Right through the forest.
Through the forest. Yeah, kind of. Let's draw them out with that first buffer.
And is that where Draxia is coming out as well?
She'll be
So-
like following them.
So once we're able to see that there's people, that's when I will put down the illusion of the ground cracking and it looks,
Awesome.
awful down there, like
so
a
once
black
they
pit.
spot the soldiers and they're like, an attack! That's when you'll have Draxia come out and they're like, whoa! And they whip out the cannon.
We should
Okay, I
we
see.
should send your fat boys to blow up the walls.
You need to
All around it.
you need to be with them then in some way. You need to be nearby in order to raise, because 300 feet's not very far.
On the chariot.
That's why it's like you guys have to be
That's
have
fine.
mulch lead you guys.
Because I can just I can first of all I can levitate, so I'll just be
Oh, horrifying! Just
above the because it's forest, right?
Mhm.
So kind of in the tree line, like the
Do you have your
tops
your
of the
2
tree.
boys with you?
Do they get disadvantage on on range
yeah,
attacks
me.
when you're what?
When
you're,
I'm up high, do
when
they?
you're levitating. I thought when you're flying you get disadvantage of range attacks.
I think you
towards
might
it.
be right. I'd have to look into that, but I think you might be right. Same with if you're laying on the ground. I don't think that makes any sense, but
If you're laying on the ground, I think it's
it makes more sense that you should be able to always get advantage on hitting them in general. But it's for if they lay prone. You know what I mean? It's hard.
well. I'm saying for people trying to hit her, I think they're at a disadvantage.
because she's floating
Yeah.
around. Yeah, I'd have to look it up. If you could.
Oh no!
I kicked something.
I see him.
So,
I like how you panic.
well, I thought I kicked this, and that was the noise.
Thank
you. So, you're going to be levitating over your army, bringing them, and still kind of staying back in the tree cover.
I'm behind them.
Yeah, I understand. I
Yeah.
understand. And then you're
not
going to
with
raise
them.
Draxia. Good. I know what you're doing.
Ew.
Are we
Ew.
waiting? Are we waiting for that scene, or is this going to be a simultaneous business?
We're waiting
Probably.
for that scene.
Okay, Astrid. You are in the Thin Trees. It is
We're
this
gonna have the
destroyed
entire
fucking forest from ages of
remaining
war, but
army
it seems
go
like these
with you
trees
with the sieges.
still hold fast. These are powerful looking plants that seem to have withstanded bombs and being caught on fire. A lot of them look like they're torched, but there seems to be life inside of them, still trying violently to grow. But it's just too much war that keeps hitting them. But as this durable kind of forest, as you're making your way through the charred sort of branches and trunks and the kind of destroyed ground, muddied and ripped up. There are skeletons kind of half sunken in some of the areas. You can feel death kind of through this whole area, and I think you like it. As you make your way through, there are a number of bodies in this area, by the way, if you wanted to play with that at all. But
Probably.
as you make your way, you are still in coverage, and you are much closer to Dawn's Hold. You can see movement along the wall. People may
The wall of Dawn's
Dawn's Hold. They might be like they might not be sure what's happening, but it looks like some people are like because they can. You're not like completely hidden all the time, but it looks like they've seen some kind of movement in the trees, and this is constant war here, so they're always on edge. You send your people.
They have their order.
Boom, they go.
I'm not commanding them.
Barbarians, all vicious creatures, the sort of flesh golems running, the hounds hauling ass, and as they
Not
are
mine, right?
no,
Okay.
they're like undead hounds, with as well as a few commanders to to take the lead. I'm going to say about 10 commanders because it's 1 million people, right? And each 100,000, I believe. So this massive swarm pours from the thin trees, this huge force going down the hills, screaming and roaring towards Dawn's Hold. And you can see the top of Dawn's Hold begin to open as this massive, huge kind of it looks like this strange apparatus with a huge crystal in the center and just a cannon on the front as it's slowly rising out.
How far away is it from me? Give me a range.
20 feet.
Oh no. This is where I get a little sort of mixed up. It's like probably like 2 football fields. What is that? 200 yards, maybe 3 football fields away.
How many feet?
I don't know how
900.
many
think-
feet that is, buddy.
900.
The cannon is what you're asking?
Thanks, football boy.
Is it
Yeah.
the center of town?
Yeah, it's the center of this.
Because I think 1 million people would take up. I was looking
That's
at
what I'm
pictures.
trying. Like, I
A million
can't. I'm not
people
good at
would-
that.
Probably like a
Well, I don't-
mile
miles.
away.
You're
yeah.
pretty fucking far.
Miles.
I
Okay,
would say.
that's all you need to say.
Yeah, you're pretty. Like you can
That's
see it
okay.
in the distance, but like I don't know. I don't want to put a number on it because then I'm fucking restricted to that. You know what I mean? So too far to affect anything with spells.
Okay.
On it exactly, but you can affect the field. How's that?
No, that's fine.
Okay, cool.
what I
So
wanted.
as they pour out, do you cause the illusion?
I mean, are there people here? Are they fighting? Are they running towards a wall?
So they're hauling ass. The cannon is coming out, and Dawn's Hold seems to be opening, and people are going to be pouring out soon. But it looks like their initial idea is to blast the fuck out of your horde with that cannon, and then they'll
Okay.
send out their people after your people get like fucked in the face.
Then yeah.
Okay. So as
I'll
the
do it.
cannon aims, and you see it sort of gathering this energy around this crystal, this bright sort of light being almost materializing in the dark and being sucked toward the crystal and at the same time glowing from the cannon itself. You raise it. This massive claw digs through the earth, sort of this red light emitting from the cavern that it has created, and the massive form of Draxia rises out, laughing and cackling and raising her arms to the sky. And as she roars to the heavens, you see the cannon readjust, and as the hordes start pouring out, you see it as it just fires this beam of pure radiant light, as it fires through the image of Draxia, and as it does so, it just kind of cuts through it, sends it out the other side, and as it flies through the thin trees, annihilating some of the trees in its way, it just keeps going to a mountain range beyond in the distance where you see it as this beam just goes until it hits something and annihilates the fuck out of a mountain way off in Vampiria somewhere. And as it does, your image fades. It seems to annihilate or have some kind of anti-magic aspect to it, or its aftermath. As after the beam passed through, it was like and kind of as you see this sort of sparkling in the tail of the beam.
Headhunter, go.
Start. I want to blow on a horn to alert the towers to start moving forward.
As through the ruins of Portnum, you see the towers come from behind buildings where they were well hidden. So that was a wise choice. As they start pouring this way, you see you are on one of the towers and Eddie is on another. As you guys are making your way with other towers.
You're
in
holding
front of
hands
you.
over the expanse, though.
Really long.
So as you are making your way through the streets and through the buildings, Eddie advises, we'll serpentine through some of the alleys. They'll pick off some of the towers, but they won't pick off us. And his tower starts to move down a couple of other streets, seeming out of the way, away from the main thoroughfare to get there. Whereas many of the other towers start going, you can see what appears to... Dawn's Hold is in full effect. It opens its doors. Its people come rushing out. You see that along... there are smaller forts sort of set up, but they're more like sentinel forts. They're just there to kind of keep a watch. And the one that you guys are heading towards, it starts releasing its people.
Are the towers
it's not-
equipped with weapons like Gatling guns and stuff? Or not?
Yeah, they have their own. They're made for like they have like mortar kind of launchers and Gatling guns and shit, as well as like ballistas and stuff. They're just made to fuck shit up in front of them until they get there. And it looks like they are sending out what appears to be a vehicles.
And this is all at
towards you.
nighttime, right?
Yeah, yep.
Oh.
So these vehicles are equipped with these bright ass spotlights that as they kind of move, you see it like kind of like singe the ground that they point at. But you see them just and come hauling ass. And so they're coming towards you and they start to enter Port Noom as the siege engines, as well as I would say like 1 million people around you as well, right? Start to just clash with an army of people on foot and on vehicles. The vehicles obviously reach first against your group, and you can see that these lights that the vehicles have start shining on these people, and you see it like kind of sizzling them.
I want to start targeting those vehicles.
Any of the darker creatures, like the undead hounds and stuff, this light just fucks them up. Like either kills them outright or like destroys parts of their body. So as you do, you just
like an EMP thing.
what are you doing? Hopping on a Gatling gun and just
Yeah, and order the rest of the towers to.
All right, I'm not even gonna have you roll for that. You just start ripping into one of the vehicles as the bullets shred the armor and killing the people on board. You see it kind of lose control and flip, and as it flips, it crashes into like what used to be a storefront, and you see somebody crawling out as some of your vampire like armies just descend upon it, start hacking the shit out of them to pieces, climbing over it, swarming over it. You see that the vampire armies, they're like lemmings. They just keep going. Like, they don't care who dies around them. They don't run.
Walkers?
The what?
Like the White Walkers?
Not quite as cool. They're just like crazed. It looks like the vampires did something to them. They look like, you know what I mean? Like, they're wild, but they're stupid. You know what I mean? They will just keep going, but that means they'll go into fire and stuff. Like, they're dumb. But they're perfect for cannon fodder, which is exactly what you're using them for.
What about World War Z zombies?
Closer to that, but think a little can know how to fight. As some of the vehicles are getting destroyed in the fight, and a lot of your people are getting ripped apart by these things. You see one of the vehicles hauling ass towards you, and it has what appears to be something all around it, and you can see that in the driver's side, you see them hold out a symbol of Astrid, and it shines with a bright light, and they point it forward, and it kind of just starts eradicating everything in its way, clearing a path to your siege engine, as it's just and it starts glowing, the car, from inside, as it's coming towards your siege engine.
I want to start using the, you said we had grenade launcher, mortars?
Yeah.
I want to start using the mortars on it.
That I want you to roll for. Roll to hit. General.
Fuck, my phone fucked it up. 9
Reroll.
plus 14.
Interference.
No.
15 plus 14.
No. 9 plus 14 equals 1.
Oh, I only get one attack? My
Yeah.
bad.
You're so used to your OP
Yeah.
guns.
9 plus 14, right? That was
Yeah.
my first roll. That's 23.
23. Okay. As you launch the mortar, as it slams into the front of the vehicle, it kind of... And as it goes in the air, you see the light shine incredibly bright, and the whole thing just goes... And, explodes in this radiant explosion, ripping out parts of the ground and eradicating the soldiers nearby. This would have either really wounded your siege engine, or it could have crippled it if it hit it at one of its wheels.
I thought it was about to warp back all healed or some shit.
Nope.
What bullshit?
It was a suicide bomber. It was there to blow you up. And so that's fucking out of your way. And you keep starting to eradicate forces. You are getting closer.
Send in the goblin ship and any flying vampires.
Are we on one of those?
Not yet. As soon as everything's in the air, we'll go.
The wave dancer whips through the air as it starts flying.
What is the final insult to these people?
The cannon is still recharging, and you can see as they get some of their anti-air guns to start firing from within the fort. You can see the wave dancer is just so fast and so nimble that it is keeping a lot of their guns busy, flying around and occasionally launching Captain Sharkbait just laughing, holding onto the wheel with one hand as it's flying like too fast, his legs off the ground, as he's just like using his own body weight to steer it, and the thing's like, whoom, every once in a while a goblin falls off, just like hits the ground as they're just launching like bombs and mortars anywhere they can down onto the battlefield that is now, they have now clashed and met in the main field. You see like great knights in shining armor versus these horrific barbarians and these flesh golems. You see people with great maces and like powerful symbols of Aristride blasting through undead. You see why Eddie said that your army would lose because these people are fucking good. For like one of these soldiers can take down like 2 of the crazed barbarians before they get like wrecked or hurt. They're really, really good soldiers, and they have the equipment to fuck up what the vampires are all about. As they're just destroying people, some of them lighting their weapons on fire, some of them firing lightning. You see war mages and soldiers. You are seeing the true might of Mercelian forces, and it is impressive. They crush people beneath their feet and beneath their swords and axes and halberds. You see one whole section riding out towards the main thoroughfare, and it looks like they have a massive, these massive steeds armored, and they have halberds and spears and javelins in their hand as they come riding through as the cavalry to just run down a whole massive amount of the vampire hordes in the front. The bats, the flying ones, a little harder to see in the dark. As they start swarming in, the wave dancer really catching a lot of attention. The bats are kind of hard to see, and they start like gliding their way in, kind of getting the hint of what you're doing. They sort of get silent and like, and start diving down towards the base. What else?
You're asking? I want 2 of the quick flyers to pick me and Mav up and start going forward straight towards the weapon.
Okay, so you guys both heading towards the cannon. You can see the cannon still charging up, getting ready. You guys are still fighting in Portnum, Astrid. Your forces are getting hurt. They will lose this battle, but they're putting up a good fight and holding the line at the very least. They're stopping anything from getting to you, and they are not retreating. You do see that some of the vampire like commanders have been like killed in the battle, but they are still surging. It looks like a few of their commanders on the enemy side have been killed as well. It's still a good back and forth as of right now, but you know that could change.
Still no champion.
So, as you, not from where you're looking, Astrid, you look upon the battlefield. It's kind of hard to see with the blaring lights of the radiance and the fire and shit that's being used. It's kind of hard to see until you guys, as you make your way off, you guys are gliding with the large vampire flyers as they're kind of holding you as you're making your way. Esther, you're not flying on your own, right?
I'm being carried, and I want to be.
You're holding on.
Gripping my. That 60-foot piece of rope I've always carried with me.
Okay, you have your 60-foot piece of rope as you guys are making your way, and as you do, you can see the cannon. You're like, okay, and that's when you see this bright fucking light from underneath you on the battlefield, like a beacon, like a small sun, just boom, and you can see it. It looks like it was a literal small sun that launched from someone's like full metal gauntleted hand, and you see this sort of sun go and being cast into the fray, and you can see a lot of the sort of the undead creatures just kind of melting from it as this just ball of radiant light now hovers over the battlefield, fucking up and just punching through a lot of the opposition, kind of scattering your forces, as you're like, whoa! And you can see silhouetted in the light and shining against her armor is what appears to be Helena Grand, a towering woman in full plate mail, a massive shield that sort of glows with the symbol of Aristride, and a sword that glows with an intense bright light. Her beautiful blue cape billowing behind her as she just steps on one of the barbarians who's still kind of burnt and cooked, and just smashes his head with her foot, and then uses him as like a point to sort of launch off from, as you see the shield kind of fly off from her and block some incoming spears as she just and smashes into some of the opposition. People rallying behind her, protecting her. You do see her 3 clerics all in bright shining plate mail as they are battling off other creatures and destroying things, and a large group of soldiers that seems to be, there are about 10 soldiers that look like elite fighters with her. They are a force to be reckoned with, but they are underneath you as you pass overhead silently, like, and make your way towards the fort. What's going on?
But then my headphones
I'm in
unplug
love.
and Walking in the Sunshine is playing. No. So, you want us to keep
You
going?
could have been a bard in your next campaign, I'm just telling. I'm just saying.
Still time.
And all of this would be canon.
Still time.
I also love your other idea, but go on.
So how far are we from the weapon?
So, you are flying, getting closer. I'm going to say you guys make stealth checks.
We
With
don't,
advantage,
we don't
with
have to
advantage.
be right on top of it either.
No, I
I'm
know.
just curious.
With it, to not be spotted by people who are specifically designed to spot you.
Ooh.
But you get advantage because you're on these vampire
Natural
creatures.
20.
Not you. You didn't need to roll this. Why are you rolling stuff?
Oh, I'm out in the open.
Are you out in the battlefield now?
So
I
you said
have been.
with advantage?
Yes.
Like, kind of bad.
So at the very minimum, I get a 19.
Can that still count?
Yeah, I got a 19.
Yes.
Hiding.
Yes. You got a 19? Good. What'd you get, Mav?
16 plus 17.
Why?
Oh, Jesus. I forgot you're the rogue. So, Mav, you are impossible to see. You got
I'm
a 19
impossible.
total?
Yeah.
Fuck. Alright. I'm gonna roll one more time because there's a lot of them. Ah, fuck.
Just two.
Let me roll one more time.
There's 3 of them.
Wait, hold on. Let me roll one more time.
Before.
2.
One of them goes blind.
It's not meant to be.
He shits himself.
One of them hasn't noticed the battle. He's still asleep. So you guys,
His alarm
you
didn't
guys
go
are
off.
approaching the actual walls of Dawnhold. You can make it into the fort if you'd like with this roll, or you can stay a good distance away. You can get exactly where you need to be. I'll give it that. So wherever it is, if you're trying to get to the wall, you can. If you want to get beyond it,
I want to
you
get
can.
closer to the weapon.
You want to make so you won't be able. You'll have to make another stealth check to get like right next to it because it is bright and it is emitting like light and sucking light into it and emitting light
I
from
kind of
its
want to
barrel.
get like over it.
Okay. So as you do, I will say, with the craziness and the insanity that is ensuing at this moment, yeah, I'll say you can get over it as it's charging up to fire again.
Where do you see inspiration on the iPad version?
It is up at the top right. Do you have inspiration?
You might have to flip it.
So I want to signal to the flyers to slow down or stop.
They don't
Should
speak
They kind of
common.
arc their wings this
I see
way.
I want to cast rope trick with my ring. So my rope goes, a little skybox comes up. I want to tell Mav to climb up.
Okay, Mav, you hop on the
I'll
flyers
follow
are
her.
all kind of hovering now.
Dismiss the flyers. Or
They
you
start-
know what? They should probably wait with us.
Do you want
Tell
them to
them
just
to-
start attacking?
No, tell them to get in the box with us, just in case.
Oh,
how
we're
much
going into
room?
like a box?
They can fit 8 people.
Okay, so you
Had
have
a
you
whole
guys
group.
and
No,
six more. There's 6 more of these vampiric flyers are in there with you.
Well, we only need 2. The other ones can go.
Okay,
fight
then the
things.
other 2, and then you want the other ones to just assault the keep.
Yeah, or return to the lines and help the cause.
All right, they turn back. Some of them are now being spotted and being fired upon, but you guys, with your one rope in the middle of the sky, I
pull up
don't
the
see how
rope.
they would notice you. You pull up the rope,
And I
and
wanna-
you can see the cannon before you. It is now charging up, and it looks like it is about to fire not on the battlefield, but on Portnoon.
Okay.
Are we
And
on top of something or in something?
We're in an invisible box. We're in an extra dimensional box right now.
Okay.
I wanted to say to Headhunter over the comms that they're aiming at you. Mav, if you can make a announcer voice and tell them
I can't.
reject airstride, and
Oh my god.
this is your last warning from you know who. Reject airstride, fight your masters, or be destroyed.
Do I have to roll intimidation on that?
Are you trying to intimidate them?
I think it's pretty honest
Sure.
and straightforward.
Well, intimidation with disadvantage because they're winning.
They're not
18.
winning. We have 5 million people.
17.
They have 3 million soldiers.
Plus 5.
Thank you for the difference.
22? 17 plus 5 is 22,
Yes.
right?
22.
Intimidation.
And what is it that you say?
That.
I can't remember what he just said.
Reject Aristride.
Fight your masters.
That.
Is this booming over the... What is happening? How can they hear it?
It's thaumaturgy. It's my voice booms 3 times louder than usual, so it's like
Is that enough?
boosting through.
The intense sounds of battle. The people in the fort will hear you. The people in the fort will probably hear you, most definitely. But the people in the field of battle, like in the war,
Yeah. Oh
are
yeah. No.
probably
This
too
is
busy.
this is for the people inside.
Yeah. So the people who like you can see that a lot of the people in the fort look up as this just kind of booms down from the sky because some of them don't know where you are. So
Tell
you roll
them
really
to-
well on stealth.
Give a blood oath and mark their faces with their blood, or be destroyed.
That.
And there's not going to be an immediate response from them either.
Fuck you!
You see soldiers mobilizing.
Oh,
Okay.
it's working.
Keep giving up various taunts like that, saying
I'm like the Six Flags operator of evilness.
you have less than an hour.
Please remember to keep your hands.
Keep your
So,
hands
what does the weapon look like? What does the weapon actually
On
look
your
like
face.
now that we can see it?
So you see
Giant
that the top
dildo.
of this cathedral is open, completely open, and you see this cannon takes up the entirety of the opening. It has like kind of plates around it to sort of seal it, so you can't really get inside.
Mhm.
But it's a bunch of sort of machinery that looks. I would say a bunch of machinery, but it's mostly like plated in armor and sleek. But it's all like golden, with basically one giant sort of rotary wheel that it moves on. You can tell that because it just faced, and it looks like it can lift up or down too. So it has pretty good movement. But it looks pretty simple in its design. There's a massive crystal in the center, though, that seems to just be glowing with this intense, bright, radiant light. It looks like that's where all the sun collects is in that magical crystal.
Stick
It's
a
huge.
potato in the exhaust.
thing's like, it's probably the size of like a house. You know what I mean? The crystal itself, and the cannon's like even larger.
What's cooling it off?
Can you put it
It's
in a
magic,
box?
bitch.
Maybe.
Like we did with
Yeah, I mean,
the mall?
it takes 15 minutes
It
to
sounds
fire
as bigger
it,
than
so
a house.
that, I guess. But you see as it... And as you kind of
He's going to get all these...
give
they're-
these commands...
Yeah, Alex,
you see
Headhunter,
this
watch
beam.
out.
I'm gonna
As
ready
it just,
myself.
the sound is deafening, and as this sort of beam just fires forward, you can see Alex as this beam comes firing through. It decimates probably 3 of the siege towers, not yours, but it just needs to go past them as it just kind of rips some of them apart. The as it goes through. This building, the buildings of
Bugbear.
Port Noom kind of act as, they like echo the sound, and the shockwave sort of ripples through the streets, and it's just an intense amount of wind and light that just, it almost blows you off of the siege tower as it's just, and you can feel the whole tower kind of, as it keeps going. This is a weapon of mass fucking destruction. This thing whoops ass, and you can see that
Should've
it not
put a
only
mirror in
destroyed
front.
that, but it destroyed probably 2 or 3 of the buildings, what is left in Port Noom, as it decimated some of the shit in its way. But it definitely brought down a lot of those siege towers.
All right, so last message is reject Aristride, mark yourself, or be destroyed.
Okay.
I want to aim at the base of the cannon, like towards the
Like the
temple.
rotary area?
Yeah, look at
Okay,
that.
okay.
And I want to summon the Duskkeep to us.
I don't know how to stop that. Because the kind of magic, like if you were gonna be like, oh, I want to shoot a bunch of fire at it, whatever, or if you're like, oh, I want to put a bomb under it, whatever. I don't know how to stop planar magic.
They have a planar magic force field built into the ball.
And it's not plane shift. Plane shift, they might be able to disrupt it, but not this. This is too powerful for the kind of magic. Like, it's not the kind of spell you're using, it's the power. Like, the Duskkeep spell is fucking strong.
And all of our people in it, too.
Like a Trojan
Oh,
horse.
fuck!
Like a Trojan horse.
No! That's
What
why
did
you
we
told them to get
say?
ready! They're not with you! You told them to get ready! Okay. As the last message and as the last warning is made, you look down from the safety of your box. You look down upon this cannon, and you reach your hand out, or you begin to meditate. It has been. Well, that takes you how long?
It's like a half hour, so that's why I said give
Oh.
them the message.
Well then, so while you're giving those the message, you get decimated. Astrid, your forces.
He's gonna take it out on you now. I'm sorry.
Well, no, we have it
No.
takes a half an hour. I will get to your
No,
thing
of course, yeah.
very quickly. Astrid, your forces are getting fucked and destroyed.
Well, it's time for round 2, right?
You have more.
There's another 2 million soldiers.
Do you use them all?
No, 1 million.
Okay.
And then I want to say in this round also wait, she's out, right?
Yes.
Yeah, she's fucking shit up.
Okay, so with this round will be the 3 giant skeletons
Out there with the
with the million.
forces
Dancing
Yeah.
in place.
as they gather around you in the forest. You just kind
I
of
wanna.
floating.
How I hate asking. I'm sorry. How is she close enough to me that I can do something?
I would say no. You would have to get out into the battlefield. Which you can still be on your side safety, but you'd have to be almost like one of the generals or commanders. You'd have to have some balls and go out there.
So she's like more than 100 feet away.
Yeah. Do you want to get out there with your skeletons and stuff surrounding you?
I don't think
As
that'd
almost
be a
like
good
a-
idea. They're ginormous targets. I'd try to be stealthy if you're trying to get out there.
It's up to you. You also, it's a battlefield.
Love
You
is
have kind of the
a
fog of war,
battlefield.
the quagmire of war around you.
Alright.
Look, I'm not gonna be. I want you to feel cool when you get it. You know what I mean? So like, this is more of a flavor thing. Do you want to stay back and not attack her, or do you want to get out there in the fray and attack her, knowing that she may come after you next?
Well,
With all of your people around you, though.
yeah,
They're plotting.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
How far is she from?
I hate it, by the way. I hate it because this is how champions die quickly. these two
Chaining
fuckheads.
combo bullshit.
These two fuckheads right here is how my bosses go away in 2 moves.
All right. So as a distraction before I come out,
Yes.
I am going to pull out the Skull of Armonite Summoning,
I knew I should have bought that Armonite.
and I'm going to summon it.
From the forest, you hold this skull out in front of you, this
I don't
demonic
know what this
skull,
creature is.
as the
I don't
eyes
either.
shock with lightning, and its mouth and launches this lightning bolt that fires forward and explodes on the ground. From the explosion roars forth a figure charging, already running. It is a massive centaur monster. Yeah, a demon that seems to have a tail serrated with like this big wicked blade. It's huge horns, its 2 arms, one of which, what is the one weapon in its hand?
Undead centaurs.
It's
He's
not
a
like
nasty
that.
looking
It's a
boy.
demon.
It
A
looks
lightning
like one.
lance.
It has a massive bolt of lightning in its hand that it just and launches, and you see one of the soldiers for a stride as he just and like goes fucking gone.
Crazy.
As the thing just and very akin to your Garistro hauls ass. These are Armonites. They are essentially the cavalry of hell. But this one's alone. As it's just like, and goes out into the battlefield like a fucking raging ass whooper. Its tail and its claws and its hoofs, beating the shit out of anything it comes across.
And
It came in like a wrecking ball.
That song is playing. That is your Armonite's favorite song.
oh,
There's
That's
like
it.
skeleton
Throwing
eyes.
lightning.
Yeah.
No thunder.
I'm gonna use that hopefully as a good distraction to then get a little closer to her.
You do see people are like, demon! Like, having a demon on the field's a bad thing, and that would bring her attention more than anything because she's the one that has something that can kill demons.
Oh, I'm
So
gonna-
she
Can
notices
the
it and
Garistro
like,
also start making his way then?
is the Greaser on the ship?
I don't know.
think we claimed
Yeah,
that.
he's
We
with
didn't
you.
place
He
him
was always
anywhere.
on the ship. He's not in the
Yeah,
thing.
he's tucked away in the storage.
As you just and the trees decimated as the Garistro blasts through.
You should ride
He's
it.
taking
Yeah,
off
no,
his
no. As
Starbucks
he's running
coffee
by,
apron.
can I just like plop down on his shoulders?
So you're on the back of the Garistro as you and grabbing just scooping up 2 knights as he makes his way through your horde, along with your 1 million more army hauling ass out. He grabs 2, looks like cavalrymen. No, just their horses. He probably just picks up their horses and fucking throws them like his own catapult as they just and like into the army. You have now definitely caught the attention of Helena Grand as she and like her cape kind of billowing in the
Am I
wind
close enough? Am I close
looks
enough?
upon you and she's running to you. She charges you. You can cast your spell
The
whenever you
moment
want.
she gets close enough, I'm going to cast Maddening Darkness with the source point being her shield.
You fucking piece of shit. That's so awful. How long does that last? A minute?
10 minutes.
Oh, you butthole. That's an eternity in D&D.
And here's the thing.
Oh my God.
There's a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, is there?
But it's on the shield, so I don't know what that means.
Give me 2 seconds. I don't have wisdom.
Inanimate objects have wisdom.
It beats headhunters.
Oh no! It's for her when she starts her turn in it. So the saving throw is
a
for the
wisdom saving
damage.
throw for her
Yeah.
when she starts her turn in it.
Well, I mean,
For damage.
What does it cause? Oh, to not hurt her.
It's 8d8 and it's intense
Okay. Well,
madness.
we'll do that in a
Okay,
second.
okay.
She comes hauling ass and like as she's cutting her way through beasts to get to
And
you,
it's what,
cutting
100
barbarians
feet, you
clean
said?
in half
150.
with this massive sword, just and just lopping through people. Her clerics.
60-foot sphere.
Her clerics and her soldiers with her as she starts hauling ass towards your Garistro excited, salivating at the thought of ripping apart a holy warrior such as her. You simply reach out. Is there anything you say, Astrid?
No.
You just
Yeah, no words.
and she and there's just like and there is just a huge mass, a bubble of darkness, maddening darkness, as the clerics, as they just, and you see that
Does it stop?
The clerics are in there.
silent.
it stops, and you're like, and does your Garistro keep going?
Into her.
Yeah, do you allow him to keep, because he's going to keep running. He just wants to get into the war. He doesn't care. He's going to run into that and try to kill everybody.
Oh yeah,
He's fucking nuts.
Don't go in there.
He stops. And you see like one guy attacking his leg with a sword, and he just and like crushes him and he's just panting with hate, and you see the orb and the orb flies off, and you can see it like and just stays in the middle of the battlefield over a part of your army, and you can see her sword pointing that way, and she looks at you
Can you see her
with
in it?
pure hate, and you see like
Well, she moved her shield.
you see like
Oh.
a bright light come from her eyes as she
You disarmed one of them.
Yeah, for 10 minutes.
and
But does she take damage?
oh, you know,
It killed him.
9 plus 3.
Oh, she has to beat a 20.
Okay, what does she take?
8d8. And do her clerics also take that?
Yeah, they do.
Does that affect the
Speaking-
aura of the Holy Avenger? The weapon that she's building?
Thank you.
That's my bedtime.
I will. Hold on.
Same.
We're just gonna do one more scene and then we're donions.
I never sleep. I wait.
And I'm sorry. What'd you say? Does that what?
Does that affect the aura that her Holy Avenger provides her friends?
There's a debuff
Did
down.
you look into what the Holy Avenger?
I know what it is.
Does you son of a bitch?
Is that a thing? I'm not gonna look it up.
Yes, it is a
Like a D&D
super
thing.
badass sacred item. In
Ooh,
D&D.
we
It's-
have
it's,
to just.
It's a legendary.
We have to
legendary.
sacrilege it.
Lawful good like sword. Like their whole campaign centered around going and finding the Holy Avenger and using it to
At
smite
the
some
Goodwill.
great evil. And that's what she just fucking
Can you imagine?
uses.
You go on a big long ass thing and then it's in some
Look
antique
at the
shop.
joy. Do you see the joy in her face? Her awful little face.
That's
as
because
she's-
I've rolled nothing but 7s and 8s.
Ooh.
They all take 54 points of damage. First try.
Only 2 of them come out. Praise him. Represent.
How do I make sure that it...
If she doesn't pass the wisdom saving throw, then I would assume she would be mad.
She fails
right?
the vibe
She
check.
takes half
She
damage.
takes half damage, but it doesn't affect her mental facilities at all.
No. I
She
looked.
just poops herself.
Yeah.
A
Well,
little.
I'm just thinking, if you get engulfed in a
Well,
sphere of madness,
she also
why would
threw
you?
it away.
I know, but I'm saying if you get engulfed in a sphere of madness, theoretically you would be mad
Instant.
and not able
Spheretically.
to understand what has it.
Well, the sphere is maddening. You're not driven insane.
I know.
It's
I'm
just-
not. I'm
it
not
would-
arguing
I think
it.
it's psychic damage.
That's
isn't
why
it?
I asked, like, what
I don't
it
know what that
does.
was.
It,
I think
like,
it fucks with your head.
Still
You also can't see.
yeah,
out
she's
of
saying
it.
it's painful, but it doesn't do anything to the character's mental facilities.
Yeah.
So
No.
I'm
It doesn't confuse them or make
Yeah,
them frightened
no,
or anything
exactly.
like that. It's just like,
Still says
ow!
recording.
Yeah, it makes them fall in love.
So, just so you know,
Just so
it has to be an 8th level spell or higher to shine light through that darkness.
What's wrong?
Nothing. Those are- we might. I mean, we'll be fine. We recorded the
It
last
can't-
No, I'm gonna say no. The Holy Avenger.
The space
Let's
filter.
say she may be able to do that. She just didn't expect that, and so whoa, she just got rid of the shield instead of trying to punch through it. She was just like, "Fuck that," and she threw the shield away.
That's fine.
Yeah, but
I'm just
yeah,
letting you know.
maybe the Holy Avenger can get through it. We'll see when this battle continues. But for now, Esther, you are the worst, and I hate you very, very much. But you know what's not awful
What's not off?
is what you just did. Now your dust keep is bigger than this cathedral.
Is it?
Yeah,
I was not
it's
so-
taller, and it's thicker,
Girthier?
and stronger.
Does it
It's
come
not-
up from the ground like with the gnomes?
It always comes up from the ground. That's how
Like
the
with the
dust
gnomes.
emerges. And first there is a sound like thunder, like an earthquake, akin to the scroll that you read, but not as powerful, not as potent. And that's when you see the cathedral itself begin to crack and kind of sunder parts of its walls, its windows shattering out as you see soldiers kind of like, "Ah," and they're sort of running from it. There are people on it as they're like, "Ah, ah, ah," and they're falling off, just Wilhelm
Wilhelm
screaming.
screaming.
Yeah, absolutely. And as
Does the
parts
TV
of it-
antenna go up their ass?
Yes. As parts of the walls begin to shatter and collapse, you see the cannon as it's charging, like, as it kind of tumbles and falls, as you see this horrible, twisted
Hole in
black
the moon.
spire break from it, and you see it still kind of like
Air strikes descending from
kind of
heaven.
hanging on as it's like kind of trying to point, but it's just too much as the walls and like more spires begin to rip through the cathedral itself, destroying it, the cannon itself blowing up with this horrific radiant energy, smashing and destroying parts of your own castle, like the spire getting eradicated, but as it falls you simply and you can rebuild it as it's falling apart, ensuring that it does not get totally destroyed. It's under your control. And as it rises up, the cathedral crumbles, as if from a mighty earthquake, this horrific cloud of dust and fire and explosions, and this bright, radiant light kind of just firing off as it just shoots off into the sky, this huge sunlight cannon, as it fires off and the cannon itself landing to the ground, useless, with this radiant crystal still very much there, still very much active, but as the castle rises up into all of its glory, the smoke kind of dissipating, and the soldiers kind of in shock as to what the fuck just happened. And from the smoke and the ash and the debris comes Gore, as he just through the smoke, and you see the soldiers like, oh shit, they're activating as they start running towards him, but behind him is an Orthon, and behind that is a soldier, and behind that is a crazed fucking mercenary, and behind them are goblins.
Send them one last message. Kill anybody that's not betraying their god.
That.
To your soldiers?
Yeah.
And it is loud.
I speak it in common and then again in Fiendish, just in case. You know, we might not have
Just
And then in
Yeah.
Spanish, just in
From
case
the
there's
sky
any
comes
or
these
French,
horrible-
English.
Mav's voice is not pleasant.
No, it's not.
And beyond that
like
is
Lil
the
Wayne.
infernal, which is like coming from the sky as their entire base just fell apart before them, and these beasts are coming out of the blackness to destroy them. And I think as we look upon as Gore meets with the brave knights and soldiers that are clashing with them, and the Orthon fucking picking one guy up and baning him over his knee, just as he's
For
a
you.
fucking fiend. These people were not prepared for this. They fight vampires every day. They don't fight this. And the horrific chaos that is ensuing. They're soldiers. They're meant to fight. They're meant to be brave. They fight evils all the time. But as you look down, Mav, as you finish, and you look down, you can look down and see one soldier on the battlefield shaking, quaking, not able to pick up his sword. And he takes off his helmet. He takes off his gauntlet. He cuts his hand. And he smears blood on his face. And begins to weep as you...
Mav puts down the dagger he's holding. I was gonna kill him.
as you
Yeah.
slip it back in like, alright, you little fuck.
I converted one though.
And-
But what's all you need?
I think that's where we will end this
Woo.
for tonight.
Did not see that coming.
I also did not. So I remembered that he put it there, but I thought he was gonna put it like, your base is here, our base is here. But yeah, why not? Just put it underneath their fucking base. That makes sense. I thought you were gonna read a scroll again. I thought you were gonna do
I was
I wasn't
expecting a
expecting that. Now I have to think about magic that would block your stupid sheep to stop you from doing that every
Real estate podcast.
I just blasted that.
But yeah, so I wasn't.
Awesome.
You're like, hey, everybody, abandon your god. I was like, there's no way. These guys are like holy warriors. Ooh, this is pretty bad.
Maybe
though.
they will.
But now that was really fucking good. That was good.
That was fun.
Ooh, I love it when it goes with good story. It's the best.
There was themes everywhere. Trojan horse from last time.
Tropes.
Betraying your god.
Betraying your god.
Real estate podcast.
Now the battle is not over.
No,
of course,
no, far
ladies
from
and
over.
gentlemen.
We gotta
Yeah,
fight
we're
the
gonna come
champion.
back. We're gonna be sipping tea. The war's won. We
You,
killed it.
you
you are going to be
to-
fighting.
I'm
much
gonna
more.
get my ass
Where's
kicked.
my god?
He's right there.
Now I need to spray him down. Okay.
I know.
So
I want to
need
put him in the camera. Show the camera.
Okay. Take a picture of him.
I
Are his
love
colors
him.
correct?
Yes.
All right, cool.
He is perfect. I can get it to focus. Oh well, you see our pictures. All right, I'll stop the recording so we don't ruin it. Goodbye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks for watching.
Real estate podcast.